Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I've put the morph way too high. Hello, hello, hello. I am Almantas, former professor, current VTuber, old man who loves old things. And joining me today for a special Just Chatting collab is Morp.
Hi, it me. I'm Morp. I'm Backrooms Cat. I'm also 1/3 of Entity.
This is true. This is true. To people who may not be familiar with your outfit, that is Entity is Inari and Bug and Morp. It is the three of them. And yes, Morp is joining me, which means that I have now I will now have collaborated with your entire outfit, your entire corporation.
You're collecting us like Pokemon.
It's true. I am collecting you like Pokemon. This is an accurate understanding of the world.
Very.
And first of all, thank you, VTuber, for the follow. Thank you, VTuber. VTuber is very. The VTuber is super cool. VTuber is super cool. VTuber had a really amazing idea for a talk show that I would really love. I'd love to see. I'd love to be on, where they interview people. And VTuber, for folks who have never watched any of their streams, uses a voice cover so that it's impossible to understand anything that VTuber themselves says. And so they had an interview idea where VTuber would talk, and it would, like, the other person in the interview would be able to hear, and then but the stream would not. It would be a normal interview from the perspective of VTuber and their guest, and then it would be a normal person, and then random bee noises from the VTuber. It's such a good idea.
Amazing.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So I adore that. But yes, welcome in everyone. We had no plan. We had no plan.
We had no plan going in.
we got nothing. Which is I suppose fair. Always makes me kind of nervous, even though, like, I would say I actually follow through on like 1/3-ish of my plans in practice. Like, having zero plans still, like, still makes me anxious.
That's how I do 90% of the shit that I do. Is I just have zero plan. I go in and I'm like, all right, I have a concept, I have an idea as to what I want to do, and then I pray that it works out, and if it doesn't, I get sad and then cry.
See, I am a That's fair. I am a person who is it's really funny. Like I said, I'm pretty I like to have the plan. I like the plan to exist. But I don't need to tend to follow on it super much. And I don't know. It's just surprised. It's unusual for me, and it hit me like after I made the thumbnail and such for this that I may have implied that I made it look like we were going to be getting crunk on stream, and that is not the plan, and it's so not the plan that I have literally one beer in the entire apartment. So
at least you have one.
I have a beer. I do live in New York, so I think it is possible for me to buy a 6-pack during an ad break.
I mean, you could, like, theoretically you could. I'm also within the US, and it's a little bit of a walk for me.
yeah. If you're in other parts of the US, it's a bit of a hike. It's a bit of a hike. You know, whenever I think about possibly living anywhere else, I just get hit pretty hard with the thought of, like, oh my goodness, it's going to be such a pain in the ass. Like the convenience, the sheer convenience of living here.
It's actually a really, like, fucking nerdy thing. Have you ever played the Uncharted series by any chance?
A little bit. I played a little bit of Uncharted 1 when it came out. On my friend's house. Yeah.
You know how they have, like, that, like, I can't, there's no genre for it, but, like, adventure music, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, every time, or okay, like you know the generic music that plays whenever people go into like a desert environment with like the little like clarinet noise, and then like it cuts like a snake coming out of like a hole, and then a man selling fruit at a stand.
Yeah,
You know, yeah. So I put that kind of music on whenever I go outside.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
because it's like a 30 minute to an hour long walk.
Oh no.
If I want to head somewhere. Yeah, so it's a trek.
It's a trek. I'm gonna get hellos in early. I'm gonna get them in early because I don't know. Normally I try to get them in late. I've been trying to push them later into the stream, but it's a collab, so I may as well move quickly. Hello me, hello Seriabot, hello Pekoneko, hello Hoomter, hello Vexing Cat, and congratulations on freeing yourself. Hello Nate, hello VTuber, hello Kendra, how are you doing Kendra? Hello Dead Muse, hello Zanjo, and of course hello to all of the lurkers and the VOD watchers. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you all to watch my silly little content with me and Morp. Yeah, I mean, Kendra, also, it is not set up we have not set this up in such a way that you can torment Morp easily. Kendra has a strong ability to torment Morp. And hello,
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm noticing I tend to get tormented by a lot of people now.
And so here's a I noticed that there is a very common tendency, right, with the chat VTuber relationship, where the most normal type of relationship for chat and VTuber to have is that chat bullies the streamer.
Yeah.
That's the most typical one. And so, like, whenever those of us who are not as bullyable, like, exist or even just get the opportunity to bully back, they tend to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's happening. Is that, like, it's like water in a desert.
Yeah. River. Okay. But yeah, no, my chat's actually my chat's really chill a lot of the time. But no, I get it a lot from other VTubers and everything like that.
Oh yeah. No, I mean. Well, I think the way that most people see you most frequently is with Inari.
Yes.
And Inari's your big sister. And
very much so.
Very much so. And you are an absolute little shit of a little brother. So
I'm there.
You know, it's something that people get trained on and expect. That make chat bully each other and the streamer is safe. That is an option. That is an option. Like Morb said, Morb's chat tends to be pretty chill. My chat doesn't tend to bully me very much. That doesn't tend to be the relationship. I am on the other side of that. I am on I'm on the one who bullies. Jim Cool, thank you for the follow.
I don't even think it's like my chat being chill now that I'm like focusing on it. I actually think I might put them to sleep.
Oh, that's not bad.
Because
that's not bad.
because I get told a lot. Like if I'm like those late night sessions with people where like you start doing that idle run around in like a map if you're playing a game or something like that where you're just talking with people. I've put people to sleep during that time. So I'm like, maybe they're just asleep. Yeah, maybe they're just chilling.
I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, I think this is true for all of us, right? Like, this is not like a surprising thing at all. That you look around and you notice that like your chat numbers and the chat number and the number of people that you see as like the official like viewer number, those don't match up at all. I don't think anybody has that ever match up. And like, yes, there's some percentage of people who like click in and then mute your tab and go about and do other things. But there's some people who just aren't chatting, right? And some of them might be falling asleep, and that's just like part of life. I am down with it. I am down with it. And Jim True Cool, have a good night. Thank you for stopping by.
Good night.
But it's it's part of the world. It's part of the world. I think it's like cuteness and aggression. Chat likes you so much they have to torment you. Interesting option. I
can get that.
Okay. I don't really ever experience cuteness aggression. It's very it's an odd one to me. I remember like learning about it in high school and being like, what the heck is the deal?
Yeah.
What the heck is the deal here?
I haven't like experienced cuteness aggression myself, but like I kind of get on that train because like I have two cats and one female. As of a few days ago, one female. And Mochi, he's like a thickum. Like I mean like a thickum. Like thick. And I just have moments where I'm like, I just want to squeeze you, and I just like a teddy bear kind of thing. But like run your fingers through the fur, you know, grab the fucking stomach because he's massive. But it's like, it's not aggression. It's just like, you are so fucking adorable that I'm allowed to curse on here, right?
Yes, absolutely. I try to curse.
Yeah.
I am trying to curse less, but not because of that. Not because I think cursing is bad, but because I think it's funnier to say like golly gee.
Oh, that's fair. But yeah, it's like you are so adorable that I just want to grab and squeeze and like give affection.
I mean, I think I think Dead Muse is correct to point that out. That is cuteness aggression. Yeah. It's just a little bit less violent. It's still
also,
that like overwhelming
Muse.
feeling. Yeah. Muse been here a moment. And hello, Matthew. And yeah, Yeah, I just like I don't. Maybe I'm too calm. Is that what's going on here? That I'm just like yes, that's a cute. That's cute. That's cute. That's interesting. I can be cute with this cat, with this puppy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those things that I've always found somewhat amusing. Is the tendency of humans to drive away cats by being too enthusiastic about the cats.
Oh yeah. No, that happens often.
Yeah. I don't. And it's just like, why is this the case? Is this?
I had that happen actually a few days ago when I got. So I have three. I have Mochi, Mushu, and Miso. Miso's the girl that we just got. And we drove over to the foster. I think it was like 2 hours or some shit. I get to the house and I go to pick her up and everything like that, and she's calm and then immediately not calm, and she goes to do like a fucking pirouette off of my shoulder. And I'm not super tall, right? But I'm a tall guy.
You're tall.
So it's like I don't want this cat dropping 5'11" feet down, you know? So I totally get the whole being turned away by like hyper enthusiasm and shit like that, because I got a taste of that a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, I do understand. That one I definitely do understand. That I definitely do understand. I don't tend to get that very often, which is fortunate for me. But yeah, yeah. And hello, Mora. What is boys' nights? Boys' night is a American English phrase. I do have some ESL speakers here, so they may be less familiar with some specific terms. It is an American English phrase. I don't know if other countries do it or have adopted it. It is usually a phrase for men hanging out and
two guys
drinking. Yeah, not always, but you know, boys' night. You know, a traditional way of it would be like, you know, a married man has his boys' night. You know, on a specific night of the week, him and his platonic male friends go out bowling or something. I am having tea. I have some barley tea.
So, you know, in that context, which of us is the married man right now?
I did put a poll to this. I did put a poll to this on Twitter. Yes, El Derogatory. No. I did put a poll to this on Twitter of what vibes do I give off, and the options I gave were divorced, widowed, and never married. And never married wound up winning like considerably. I'm like, well, dang, because I don't really do much of a lore.
Yeah,
I don't do much of a lore, and so I was like, should I have like a lore thing of like my departed Iris Gamble, my some traditional old lady name, my departed Opal,
Iris,
Iris or Opal or I mean, I'm friends with both an Iris and a Mabel as streamers. Unid's a good one. Unid's a good one.
Oh no, Enid was the name.
I don't know an Enid stream, but I do know an Enos. More, I am at the point where they would definitely be adults. Enos is a maniac. Enos is an absolute menace. Enos is like an authentic legal hazard.
Oh shit. Governmental, like Thaumiel level threat right there.
Not Thaumiel level threat. No. She is a parakeet. She is a German parakeet. And she has a very soft, high pitched voice. Etc. Enos, Enis. Not Eunice. Enos, and she's I remember specifically that she caused problems for her agency because she there's a paper, right? I have to back up and explain to people that there's an academic paper behind here, and that academic paper was if you women can predict how attractive a man looks based off of the smell of his like a shirt that he wore for 12 hours.
There is no fucking way.
That's the paper. It's on the circuit for a while. I don't know how seriously I take it.
Yeah.
I don't know how seriously I take it, but it's been around since like 2007 or something like that. It's like an old psychology paper. And so Enos tried to do wanted to do a stream testing this, and she was like, "Viewers, send me your shirt that like hasn't been washed." So turns out that's like turbo illegal.
Is it?
It's super illegal, yeah.
Wait, why?
Because it's importing biologicals.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was gonna say that's actually, you know, I can see the legitimacy there for a minute.
That's a legitimate that's a legitimate stream type that would have been kind of interesting, but like her legal department her legal department was like, you cannot do this. I am wondering if it would have been possible if she had limited herself to either Germans or European Union. But I don't know, because it didn't happen. But there's no way it would have been legal to get the Americans. Yeah.
There is a workaround. There is like a workaround.
I'm afraid of this one. I'm afraid of this workaround. It's
lie. There's a like, you know, instead of saying like, oh yeah, no, I got these shirts from my viewers and everything like that, just, yeah, I found these shirts. I went to the Goodwill and I found these shirts. You know, or claim they were given to you by an old friend.
Yeah, that's there's that option. There is that option. I mean, if there's a question of, I mean, this is the 21st century, right? This is the 21st century. I hope that folks here know that they can lie on the internet. I hope that folks here know that they can lie just to get out of things. I strongly recommend this. I strongly recommend this. I definitely have done I've mentioned this before. I've got mental health issues. I've got the bad brains in a few ways. And so it's a service that I offer to various friends who struggle to get out of engagements that they don't like, to be like, look, like, I don't know the people that you're talking about. Like, I don't know your in-laws. I don't know these people at all. I do not give a shit about my reputation with them. If you want out of a party or something, you can just like look at your phone and say, Al's having a mental health crisis, I need to go, and like I'll back you up. Just like send me a text in case like they ask, but like you can do that. Like I will back you up on that. And like they rarely take it up, or they haven't told me.
Because there's no good way to kind of like challenge that. Like, what is he? Is he? I'd show me proof.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not gonna lie. When you brought up the study where it was like, oh yeah, no, they could tell the thing. I imagined like a group of scientists taking like a group of women into a room, giving them clothes, and then just one after another, like a symphony, just yes. Like I can't. I can smell the chiseled jawline.
I know that's a hard. I'm not sure how much I respect it. Unfortunately, Murray, you said you don't like the topic, but you also brought up one of the like you segued it into an interesting angle on it, which is the meet and greet angle, which is potential. There is potential there. I do know that that was something that legendary streamer Koki did. Was at TwitchCon, part of her TwitchCon thing was she did a report back for stream on the smell of various VTubers that she met.
You know, actually, it's funny that's a thing, because I saw I was watching, I don't remember where the fuck I saw it, but somebody mentioned it would be a great like idea and it would make a shit ton of fucking money if somebody made like a VTuber soap thing. Like fucking like the sense of VTubers or like the smell of VTubers, but soaps. And I was like, that would be fucking cool.
Thank you for the 3 months, Nyano. The Nyanomancer, the cat wizard. He is the boy who is even more cat than you.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
like full on cat.
Yeah, take a look at his model. It's pretty good.
Oh.
It's pretty good. Would Manti would Manti be just Old Spice? I have, unfortunately, I fucked that up by saying that my actual scent, so to speak, that I use in real life is I just use a little bit of lavender essential oil for my soaps and beard oil.
You know, that would have been my second guess.
Yeah, so I use a little bit of that, and it probably doesn't smell like I know it doesn't smell 100% like that, because there's also shea butter in there, and shea butter has a little bit of a smell to it.
Shea butter is so fucking good.
Shea butter is so good, man. Shea butter's amazing. Shea butter is
so good.
Shea butter is amazing, folks. If you are unhappy with your moisturizer strategy, get some shea butter. Just shea butter, nothing else. Just shea butter.
Not sponsored, but like shea butter will fix you up.
Yeah, shea butter's definitely been the best moisturizer I've ever learned to use in my life. It's amazing. You're allergic, brutal. Yep. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. That sucks. That is.
You know, just out of sheer curiosity, do you also use leave-in conditioner?
No.
Really?
I very occasionally do. Occasionally do. But not super. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going. Oh no! Come, Matthew. Come on. You know this one. I'm gonna ask you to rewrite that one because you've gotten bonked for this one like 3 times. It's viewers, and I'm not going to Viewers is a flag term. Viewers is a flag term because scam artists use it so much.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, no, Matthew, you should have as a flag term on your stream.
That's a really good. I'm stealing that.
Yeah, it's a classic one. It's a classic one.
I shit you not, by the way. Setting flag terms for Twitch is some of the most like self-awkward, like I don't know if you get this as well, but it's like you feel wrong typing some of the things you have to type.
Oh yeah, no, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. It's absolutely. I use class for you guys. Or use. I could start to throw things and go yins. Elaborate more. One of the things that you do when you make an automated list of banned terms is you go through a lot of slurs and misspelled slurs.
Misspelled? I forgot they get misspelled a lot.
Yeah. One of the ones that I grabbed like an auto list from somebody else. I got spared a lot of the pain. And but one of the ones I remember getting tagged was Gary. Which I don't think was from the manual tag list. I think that was from Automod. I've got pretty strict Automod on. Gary got tagged. And it took me forever to figure it out. I was like, Gary, the city in Indiana. Like, what did they do? Gary, the normal name for a white dude.
Speaking of cities, it's not in Indiana, but it is in Oregon. Do you know Bend, Oregon has the last blockbusters known to man?
I did know that.
Still active.
I did know that.
I want to go there one day. I want to go there and just see if it's the same as how I remember.
Oh my goodness.
Did I just like give you a brain blast of fucking nostalgia?
I mean, just to finish this thought, Twitch doesn't like calling myself gay. I mean, I am still reeling. My like one of my greatest accomplishments in my time as a viewer was Mako Fukusame said something that was pretty sexual, and I said, that's pretty bisexual, Shark, because she's very bisexual, and and so I put that in, and the entire phrase, it was all three words together. It wasn't pretty bisexual, and it wasn't bisexual shark. It was pretty bisexual shark got flagged. How the fuck? Yeah, like we were so confused. It derailed the entire stream. It was great. Gary, Gary, Indiana is awful. Don't go to Gary. But yeah,
how bad? How bad?
How to put? I mean, it's bad on the scale of like Rust Belt bad. It's like a bad Rust Belt city. It's like a bad Rust Belt city. It's like substantially worse than Detroit.
I totally get it. No, yeah, I totally get that.
I don't know if I'd say it's worse than St. Louis.
Yeah.
Because St. Louis is a very rough place, folks. Hello, Sheepy. I am having tea. I'm having tea today. We did flag this as boys night, but I did not actually plan on having any alcohol, so I don't actually have any. I have.
I'm not driving my truck, so I have no alcohol with me either at the moment.
Yeah. I've never quite recovered from learning about that one streamer who streams drunk driving VR.
Oh God, wait, that sounds fun.
It's so good.
That sounds really fucking fun. I'm figuring out how to download the there's a cross-country mod for American Truck Simulator that finishes the entire fucking US map.
Oh no.
And I wanna download it and then do an entire like until I give out level stream of just driving my truck from like one end of the country to the other end of the country.
Okay. I can tell you that because of family reasons, New York to Central Iowa is about 24 hours on the road.
Oh no. Oh man, that's rough.
And so doing the entire that's a little bit over 1,000 miles on I-80. So doing the just across the country on 80 is going to be like 70 hours.
Okay, but like, what about like 120 miles per hour? What about that? Like, what's the?
I don't know. Depends on how often you get pulled over and flip over into a ditch, I guess.
All right. All right. One of them, I don't get pulled over, but flipping over into a ditch is very possible.
Yeah. I would not want to do that. When you're in like some parts of the Midwest, the like it's like super flat, so they raise the bed of the streetway is raised, the roadway is raised a little bit, so that like so like that flooding doesn't just like stop the entire highway for hundreds and hundreds of miles. And so you're in this like incredibly flat area and you're elevated, so like the wind is hitting you like crazy. Like even going like 70 miles per hour is like not great. like
oh, yeah.
I would not want to go like 120 miles per hour.
I actually,
those areas, it's like,
I know somebody whose car actually he was funnily enough a trucker, and the roof of his truck mid delivery ripped off in the middle of a fucking I think it was snowing.
Oh Jesus!
So the roof of the truck ripped the fuck off, and he had to drive all the way to I don't know if he made the delivery and then got the repair, or if he got a repair and then made the delivery. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention. But like the point is that the roof ripped off, and I find that absolutely hilarious because of who it happened to. Amazing.
I remember, God, some of those snowstorms can be crazy. I remember driving in Southwest Michigan, and it was a year that the state of Michigan was so broke they couldn't afford road salt.
Road salt?
Yeah.
What the fuck is road salt?
Oh, you're a Southerner.
Yeah, what the fuck is road salt?
Okay. Morp gets to learn about road salt today. So it snows, right?
Yeah.
Did you take chemistry?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the phrase freezing point depression?
Yes.
Okay. So freezing point depression, for anybody else who might not know this, freezing point depression is a chemical phenomena, physical phenomena, where water mixtures have a lower freezing point than pure water. Same thing happens.
Fucking weird.
Same thing happens upwards. It has to do with physics. It's a physical result of how mixed liquids work, and how crystals form. Really. So this is also what happens when you're making pasta. Is that when you add salt to your water for cooking pasta, the pasta water will actually be hotter when you boil it. Anyway, so if you add things to water, it lowers the freezing point of them. So if there's ice and snow on the ground, you can add salts to it, and it will melt because you lowered the freezing point.
I see. So basically just making sure the road isn't slick so people don't die.
Yes.
I see.
If you have ever wondered why, like, it also does make plowing a little bit easier, but if you've wondered why, like, so frequently you'll see roadways that look relatively clear and, like, there's snowbanks everywhere, it's not just plowing, it is also using salt. Salt is a faster way of clearing roadways when it's only like a few degrees below freezing.
Honestly, I've wanted to offer that service to people before. Like, I've thought about doing that, but just for like clearing snow out of like their area. Like, oh yeah, you got snow in the garden, that's fine. Let me drop some fucking salt in there.
Yeah, it'll
clear that shit out. Won't grow, nothing will grow again, but like, you'll never have to deal with the snow.
Yeah. anyway, they couldn't afford it. So on the highway, where people were driving like 60 plus, we like it was like 6 to 12 inches of snow.
Oh shit.
And so like I was driving on the shoulder of the road at like 10 miles per hour. Like 10 miles per hour. I was keeping it super duper slow. And yeah, we just saw turned over trucks constantly. Just constantly, tons of turned over trucks.
I mean, I would imagine, because it's like you got the I figure after a while, right, the effectiveness has to like wear down.
For adding salt?
Yeah. Like
yeah, it only can move the temperature so much.
Yeah.
And so like it's at a certain like temperature it like stops being effective.
Well, that, and it requires people being good drivers.
Oh, I mean that's always
which is also
that's always a problem. That's always a problem.
Yeah.
There's universally a problem, right? Like universal hazard. Universal problem there. Sorry, I just saw this DM you sent me like an hour ago.
Oh no, the sock.
Yeah, the sock. Unfortunately, Matthew. Yeah, there's something that's kind of crazy about the fact that our nation is built like entirely around the like the conceit that everyone everywhere is going to be cool with and good at operating several thousand pounds of metal flying at speeds faster than humans are really kind of meant to comprehend.
I think a lot of our infrastructure sucks, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, a lot of our infrastructure is just bad. I'm just saying it's conceptually a bad idea. It's like a deep conceptual problem.
100%.
That we decided that like our solution to all problems is going to be cars. And like this means that all humans have to be like using cars all the time, and like frankly, I don't think a lot of humans should be trusted with cars.
And this is like it's probably going to be like a very hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how it could get implemented. I want the Futurama tubes.
Yeah.
I would be terrified as shit to get in one of those because heights like scare me. That is like I cannot get on an escalator without having like a panic attack.
Ooh, that's like you're worse than me.
Yeah. I hate fucking escalators. Those things suck. Those are terrifying. Absolutely horrible.
There's some movie where they did it as like a comedy thing, and I've just like it's just like stuck in my brain ever since then, which was like wondering. Which was like the fear. I should say, okay, the comedy skit was like a person's like riding the escalator and they don't get off at the end, and it just like sucks them under. Yeah. And like entirely irrational fear, right? Like entirely...
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's worse because I'm comfortable sometimes in an elevator, so it's like the thought of I'm walking into a hanging box that can fall, and if it falls, it kills me, right? That's more comforting than getting on the set of stairs that I could get off of whenever I want. And I narrowed it down. My issue is watching myself leave the ground. Like, yeah, like, okay, like in a lot of malls that have like hanging advertisements from the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay, I will, if I'm going up an escalator and I can see that in view, I will entirely like envision myself hanging from the sign for like dear life. And then it reminds me, oh God, I am ascending right now. I am like the intro to Wolves ascending right now. And it fills me with a sense of dread. And then I'm gripping the escalator edge and I'm uncomfortable. And then I get to the top and I'm okay. I will like 90% of the time take the stairs instead of going for elevator or escalator, unless the stairs are like super either if it's like a spiral staircase, or if it is like a really, really long set of stairs, like I'm talking like excessively long. Like I think the best example I can give is like stadium stairs, like in like a music stadium, shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that shit I can't do. I'll take the elevator, thank you.
So do you know the cursed knowledge here?
About elevators?
About stairs.
No, feel free.
Stairs are actually pretty fucking dangerous.
You know,
people die on stairs
would
a
imagine.
lot. It's like way more dangerous than elevators and escalators, like by like a lot.
How so?
I mean, because you slip and fall.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like if you go up like how I go up, which is like I go upstairs that I'm unfamiliar with, like an 80-year-old man.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Like I go out, like
I don't
like
know how
Harold
much
going to get his fucking pills. You know.
I don't know how much distinction there is on that front. I don't know how much distinction there is on that front. But yeah, more of the old man. But yeah. I don't know how much being careful on the stairs truly matters, but it is a bit of a danger, and you know, from a safety, I have learned to take the escalator and the elevator as like a just do this for your safety, man, kind of thing. Even though like oftentimes it's like so much slower and so much more annoying. The place where it's like the one that I think about fairly frequently because it's like such like a bad example is the what's it called, the Broadway Junction in New York.
Yeah,
there's a station called Broadway Junction in New York City. It's not on the Broadway that you folks are probably thinking of. It's like eastern. It's deep eastern New York. Up for the city. It's in Queens, and there's like the J train and the L train are like 5 stories up from the A and the C.
Yeah,
and it's just one straight shot staircase with no turns, and it's all metal stairs.
Oh fuck that! Yeah,
and it's like, if you trip, like, you are going to keep falling.
Yeah, like that's the end of it, pretty much.
Like I'm like, so I just like unless the escalators are broken, I just and honestly, even when the escalators are broken, I should probably take the stairs because the escalators are much more narrow, so you'd be able to stop yourself much more easily.
You know what? It's, you know which one does it for me? If it's like a straight up escalator, like at an airport or some shit like that, where it's like start at the bottom, there is a clear top point, and I can see where that top point is, and it's not too bad. Totally fine taking it to an extent.
Interesting. Okay.
But if it's like any higher to an extent, like if it's in my mind unreasonable that I like, and I don't have a calculation for it, but like if it's in my mind unreasonable, I have a problem with it. The most unreasonable one is like, I don't know if this is at the Mall of America or some shit, but the ones where they cross, you know what I'm talking about? The crossover escalators where they're going on top of each other, and then you have other ones where it's like they will cross over this large chasm from like the 5th fucking floor. No, I'm like I would rather not. I'm
not super great with heights, and I don't think I'm as bad as you, but I've mostly learned to I've held to the cartoon advice of don't look down.
Yeah.
That
actually helps.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It really fucking does. It sounds insane, but it genuinely does, because it's very much vision. It's very much your vision that gives you the problem on that one. Useless advice for like from like a safety perspective, but from a not losing your lunch perspective is pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean that'll I can go up to like a food court. Like I can get ready to go to a food court hungry, go up an escalator, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I'll keep walking for a little while.
yeah. Need to get that appetite back after that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, brutal.
And it's funny too, because like elevators, I feel like are even way more dangerous than escalators, like in direct comparison, right?
I know statistically elevators are super safe.
So they're safe, But it's like you hear more stories of people getting fucked up on elevators than you do escalators.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this might be kind of a phenomenon of like, you hear way more about plane accidents.
Yeah.
Than you do about car accidents.
But car accidents are far more common.
Like so rare. And part of it is like once it becomes common enough, you like stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this in both the case of like both like airplanes and elevators, I think it's a matter of control.
Yeah.
That like you're surrendering control. And so it feels like it is less safe because like you aren't the one responsible for it.
No, I'm a massive control freak with shit like that. So it's like, no,
fair enough.
I can't. I actually, when we were talking about, there was a whole discussion about possibly like moving at some point, and the consensus was that we drive there, and it's like, I can recognize that driving there, like from where I'm at to where I want it to go, far more dangerous than flying.
Yeah.
But that being said, I have more control in the car. We can stop wherever the fuck we want. And then it's like on the plane, I feel like on a plane you have way less chances.
And it's interesting, right? Because I still remember reading this and like reeling from it that the vast majority of plane crashes, like full fucking plane crashes, have 0 fatalities.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I know, right?
That's fucking crazy.
I know, right? It's why is Alma in almonds? Because somebody redeemed it, and because it's almond. You did ask about like Morp did ask about like what models are going on. This is I've got 3 going on, and this is the almond. This is the almond model. Almond. I do like almonds. Not my favorite nut, but I do like them. I tend to like baking with them more than I like actually like having them.
I fucking love chocolate covered almonds.
I have almond flour that I used to make cakes.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I use the recipes I learned from that are largely Italian.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, the Italians like their almond desserts.
Yeah.
Pistachios are my favorite nut. They're just expensive.
I think my favorite pistachios are so good. I think my favorite is probably macadamia.
Oh, okay. A good choice.
Yeah, I like macadamia a lot. I do. It's not a nut, right? It's not a nut. Yeah, well.
I think peanuts count, like culinarily. I know, like from a botanical perspective, they're not nuts, but I think.
No, I think it's more of a. Actually, I think it's more of a bean. Hold on a minute.
Yeah,
actually,
like botanically, it's closer to a bean, but like culinarily.
No. Different. I gotta look this up now. Actually,
okay.
Hold on. It's technically it's a fruit.
Are you looking at cashews?
Fuck me. No, cacao.
Oh yeah, cacao. Yeah, cacaos are.
Yeah, cacao. No. You're fine. I was gonna say I was gonna say that would be my favorite, but then I found out it's a fruit, and I was like, well, I can't make that joke. Yeah. I like coffee beans since I mentioned beans earlier. I like coffee beans. I think those are nice.
My number 1 bean goes to the garbanzo. I love the garbanzo bean. Love it. Love to garbanzo. Love to have the chickpea.
We have a funnily enough, that reminded me I should actually get some at some point. Not right now, but like maybe tomorrow or some shit. We have a coffee truck that like drives around the the outskirts of where I am at, and you have to kind of find it. It's like an Easter egg a little bit, but once you can locate them, you get yourself some coffee, and they'll actually give you like a little white cup filled with like different coffee beans. And they're covered in chocolate. You can just bite right into them. They're fantastic.
Hell yeah. Love that for you.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I hate the taste of coffee.
That's fair.
Like, I
No,
just
that
hate the
it
taste.
is
I
an
just hate the
acquired
taste.
taste.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not like I don't like bitter. Like, that's the thing. Like, people will be like, oh, like, you don't like bitter. It's like, no. Coffee is not just bitter. It is not the bitterness that bugs me. I like Swiss chard. I like Brussels sprouts. I like really
Yeah.
bitter beers. My taste in beers is like super bitter. Just coffee, like the core coffee smell I hate.
That's
I
fair.
don't like it at all.
Do you
yeah.
do you like cranberries?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay,
I do.
okay, no, yeah, okay, no, so that makes sense then.
Yeah, you hate
Oh,
cranberries?
it's just no, I love cranberries. I was wondering if it was along the same thing.
Oh, it's very narrowly coffee. They're like the list of things I like really dislike in food and taste profiles is like pretty limited. It's like coffee and lettuce are like the top two that I like really dislike.
So it's mainly the smell of the coffee for you, right?
Yes, the smell. I like going into a coffee shop is like a nightmare for me. I hate it.
So what if you didn't have the smell, like it was just the taste?
I don't know, because I don't know how you'd separate that out. I don't know how
Just
that
plug
would
your
happen.
nose.
Well, but like you can like when you're drinking something, the taste like backfills through the back of your throat into your nose.
Oh, true. Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I don't know how you'd separate that. It's possible that there is a specific like individual chemical that's common to coffee that's like the one that kills me. But yeah, like I know people who love that smell, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not about this one. I'm not about this, my dude. I don't like it. Makes me a very bad American.
No, because it's like I think against tea, I feel like tea is better.
The only thing that stops me from drinking more tea is like is the caffeine weakness. I had barley tea today. That's what I was having, which is not like which is not real tea according to some people. But you know, good luck figuring out a better word for it. And
is it leaf?
I believe so. It might be from the grains, but I'm not sure.
It tea. if it leaf, it tea.
Yeah. I think it's a weakness. There are people who'll be like, oh, it's like definitely. I think it's actually no, it's not. It is actually not. It is from the. It is from the barley grains. It's a grain-based infusion.
That actually sounds good, though.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And of course, like there are people who will invoke like the linguistics of it, but I will invoke the linguistics of the Japanese for it is boricha, the Chinese for it is damai-cha. It's a tea, man. It's a tea.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say it. I mean, at its bare minimum, it go in water. It make water taste funny. It tea. We are getting hit with ads, so I'm going to put up the fan art gallery. We will be back in a few minutes, folks, but please hang tight.
And we're back. And we're back. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. But yes. I hope the ads and the were not too bad, and the fan art was too good. That's what I hope for. But I don't respect the notion that like tea means the tea plant. No, that's a weakness of the 19th century British. We don't need to. We do not need to follow through on their weaknesses and propagate them into the future.
On their weaknesses.
Tea. Yeah, tea is from the word tea is from Hokkien, and it's cha in most other languages. The British are not an intellectual people. And hello, Saf.
I don't know why that reminded me of like you ever seen that post of somebody saying like, I want to go back in time so I can give like one of those child like coal mine workers from like the 1900s a Dorito to see what happens.
There's a lot of variants on that people have been doing over the years. And the most insane variation I've read of this is the most insane variation of this I've read is the so the Versailles, the Palace of Versailles. Thousands of people lived in Versailles, like functionally their entire life. Thousands of people lived in Versailles. They did not have plumbing. They were doing like 80 million types of insane drugs.
Fun.
Including like regularly, constantly having to use enemas.
Oh, not fun.
And so you've got these people who are wearing like 20 layers of makeup and 6 layers of clothes, living in basically a party dorm, doing tons of drugs, poisoning each other constantly.
Yeah.
That smell.
Oh.
Like, I think that smell could kill a 2000s person. Like that.
No,
I think that could kill me. Like,
I think the smell of most people probably from the 1900s would probably kill somebody.
yeah. It's. I mean, for one thing, a non-trivial percentage of them just smell like typhus, which is gonna get you.
I wanna like, if I had the ability to do that, right? Instead of like trying to get the smell or like the Dorito chip, there's a guy on TikTok, because I scroll when I'm in the fucking bathroom. And he shows like hyper brain rot images to random fucking people.
Yeah.
He has like a little binder full of like different brain rot images, and I want to go back to like the 1800s. Fuck that. I want to go like to the Salem witch trials, right? And I want to show like one of the most extreme people there a binder full of like modern day brain rot. Like the whole like with like Freak Bob, the fucking Dolphin Man thing, the Eye of Ra. You know, I want to like show somebody from that era that binder, and I want to see what their reaction was, and I want to see how long it takes until I'm burned.
I think it's gonna take a while. I'm not gonna lie. Because mostly it's just going to be incomprehensible. You know, it's one of those memes I like is the like, behold horrors beyond your comprehension.
Yeah.
And then the horrors are like, why aren't you scared? And the guy's just like, I don't get it.
I don't understand it.
It's above my pay grade, boss.
Why should I be afraid?
Yeah, this reminded me of this. So this one is called Speedcore, similar to the Gabber I played earlier, but even faster. Do you feel weak yet? Medieval peasant child I've been sent back in time to kill. Oh, it soundeth so beautiful. May I ask for the name of this composition? Me, fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, no, because most of them don't a lot of breakcore songs just have like fucking nonsense names or some shit, or like they won't even have some.
It's this hurts my soul. I'm sorry, Vex. I'm sorry, Vex. I mean, the strictly speaking, the inventor of the saxophone was not a Victorian child on account of living in Sweden. But did you ever hear about this fucking guy?
No. Who the fuck was it?
His name was Sax. Was his last name.
Okay.
I can't remember his first name, so I'm gonna have to look up saxophone inventor. Adolf.
No fucking way.
Adolf Sax.
That's
born
crazy.
in 1814, died 1894. As a child, he once fell from a height of 3 floors, hit his head on a stone, and was believed dead. At the age of 3, he drank a bowl full of acidic water, mistaking it for milk, and later swallowed a pin. He received serious burns from a gunpowder explosion, and once fell onto a hot cast iron frying pan, burning his side. Several times he avoided accidental poisoning and asphyxiation from sleeping in a room where varnished furniture was drying. Another time, young Sax was struck on the head by a cobblestone and fell into a river.
Okay.
I haven't even finished.
How the fuck do you get to that point?
His mother once said, "He is a child condemned to misfortune. He won't live."
He won't live!
His neighbors called him Little Sax, the ghost.
This can't be a real person. This cannot be a real fucking person.
The insane part is that he invented the saxophone. That's his claim to fame. He invented the saxophone and a bunch of other instruments.
This cannot be fucking real.
This guy has a bit much by isekai protagonist backgrounds.
You have to be gaslighting me. You are not gaslighting me. He is actually fucking real.
No, I was quoting the Wikipedia word for word. Just
how did he make it through all that in the 1800s?
And the craziest part is that like he didn't become like a war criminal or anything. Like
wasn't like a cut in the 1800s like a death sentence?
It could be, yeah. I mean, not like, it's a matter of statistics, right? Like, humans have immune systems. Like, we are not like...
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. It sucked in the 1800s.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
There was not a lot of good shit.
Absolutely. No. I say constantly, like, because I love history. I'm always reading historical stuff. And people will ask me, like, it's actually a fairly frequent question on the channel, like, if there was a place in history that you could go to, like, when? And I'm like, can I choose like 10 minutes ago?
Why 10 minutes?
Well, because like I don't want to do it. Like I very much do not want to go back any time before like modern dentistry. Like that's like the big one.
That's fair.
Like that's like the really big one. Like modern dentistry and flush toilets is like I really want to make sure I am like full lifespan of those.
Is it only going back or can you also go forward?
Usually people put in terms of like history. Like can you go back to any point in history is usually the way that people say it. So like you can't go forward in that one. If you could go forward, I don't know, because like we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're doing that right now, and like
but like forward or
well, I was just gonna ask you, like, do you feel good about it more?
What, the future?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like in general for like the planet or like for me, like what
yeah, right,
you know,
right,
for like which the country, you know, what that's the I got opinions.
Yeah, no. They're open here. They're open here. That's why I ask people like, are you okay with like what are you okay with talking about here? And Morp was like, I'm okay with anything. I was like, are you sure?
Oh no, yeah, no. I'm okay talking about it. It was just like which end do you want to hear about here?
I will put cards on the table. I am very left wing, and I'm very
Hey, same.
pessimistic. I'm very left wing and I'm very pessimistic. That's where I'm at.
I lean on like the hopeful. I'm not full on optimist, but like I try and remain hopeful. You know, I try and remain hopeful for me. But that's just me. Me personally, I think it'll be really cool when that whole Andromeda Galaxy thing happens.
Andromeda Galaxy thing, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Emperor's Armpits is the funny answer, which is find the aliens that made the pyramids and get abducted by them.
Okay, that's the thing. I've said this before. I think I would have no problem becoming like a human pet slave for like aliens.
Oh, okay, that makes sense
Like,
to me.
not like to be dissected or anything like that, right? But like, you know, as like, look at the cute cat boy. He's so adorable.
You've got that like 60s era sci-fi kink of like being kidnapped by the sex barbarians of Omnicron 7.
Yeah.
Like that one. That's where we're going with this. Okay.
Yeah. Did I actually? Yeah. I was gonna say earlier. Have I ever told you about Dorde Martinovic?
No. Who the heck is Dorde Martinovic?
Okay, so this is a history thing. I know we were talking about the future and everything like that, but I want to mention this because I find it infinitely interesting because it's just as ridiculous as Sachs. Dorde Martinovic is a man who shoved a bottle up his ass, and he ended up completely causing Yugoslavia to not be a country anymore.
Oh yeah, that's a. Hold on. I know some things about the breakup of Yugoslavia, but I don't know this part because I know in terms of like go ahead.
If you look all the way back, the entire reason Yugoslavia broke was because of Dorde Martinovic shoving a bottle up his ass.
Okay, I'm going to have to study this a little bit more, which is unpleasant because I would prefer not to study somebody shoving a bottle up their ass.
I can tell you, like I can tell you what the fuck happened.
The Dorde Martinovic incidents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So he was a farmer, and essentially, you know, a couple lies and misrepresentations and assumptions on multiple different angles resulted in a veritable ethnic cleansing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All because some man shoved a bottle up his ass.
Okay, well, the Wikipedia article made it pretty clear how this operated. How this caused a problem. He claimed that it had been a hate crime, and then he admitted after being questioned a little bit further that he had done this for self-pleasure.
Yes. But the hate crime rumor didn't go away.
The hate crime rumor didn't go away. Okay, that actually does add up.
Yeah. But yeah, the entire reason Yugoslavia is no longer a thing is legitimately because the man woke up one day and decided he wanted to change the course of history.
Oh my goodness. Are
you still reading into it?
I'm just reading the Wikipedia article, which is not much of a research. Yeah, I am. Oh my god, they made a poem. There's a poem.
Wait, there's a poem?
There's a racist poem about it.
Okay, well.
The Balkans. Balkan history, folks. There's a poem about how this is about how this is the Turks' fault.
One man, one jar.
Yeah, OG one man, one jar. Yeah.
Morp, please, no one needs that cursed knowledge. I think everybody does.
Kendra, this is you can think of this as retaliation.
Yeah.
This is the vengeance of Morp. This is Morpazuma's revenge.
No, but it's fucking crazy, right? Like, I'm
It's
not
absolutely
wrong
insane.
here.
No. My understanding of the breakup of Yugoslavia was very very funded by the tensions caused by the different levels of economic development.
Yeah.
Across the because Yugoslavia was a federacy.
Yeah.
Is a federacy, and so that meant that like there was a semi-independent like Croat parliament and stuff like that, and Croatia and Slovenia were considerably wealthier than the other parts of it, and so they had a substantial interest in breaking up Yugoslavia when they got the chance. And that's how I've largely understood it, is that like the things that held Yugoslavia together kind of started to disappear at the end of the Cold War, and if you were an elite member of various groups, similar to the breakup of the Soviet Union, right? Like if you were, you kind of had this ready-made recipe for profiting from independence, even if it came at the expense of basically everybody else, especially your fellow countrymen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those things to keep in mind.
I feel like you're still reeling from the fucking incidents.
It's a pretty rough one, buddy. It's a pretty rough one.
Learned about it in the weirdest fucking way too.
I mean, now I have to say I learned it from a fucking cat boy. So
you did.
But yeah, go ahead.
Completely by accident, I tuned into a random stream, and they just happened to be going over it, and I was like, oh shit. Well, this is interesting.
This is how you all learned it now.
Yeah.
That's how you all learned it now. Yeah, the Zuko, that's rough, buddy. Yeah, that's some rough chuckles we're having here. That's a fascinating one. That's a fascinating one. I didn't look it up. I should have checked. When did this guy die?
There's also a man who stuck his head inside of a hadron collider.
Oh boy, yeah, don't do that one, buddy. That's a bad choice. That's a very, very bad choice.
Did you know about that one?
Yeah, that one I did know about. That's a bad choice. That's a bad choice. That does some very severe brain damage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's rough out here.
Yeah. The boy can have a little hadron collision. No, my reading of it is, despite the fact that we say the large hadron collider, there are ways in which the smaller the hadron involved, the worse. I believe that's actually how it works. Is the smaller the hadron, the more power you need to use in order to like create a detectable quantity of it. So brutal. Okay, I gotta figure out. I haven't the Wikipedia page. This guy doesn't have his own Wikipedia page, so that just links to the incidents. He lived to 2000. That's
no fucking way.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Man_opener. Thank you for the follow.
What?
Great name.
Name. When did he die?
Dorian Mortanovic, 2000. September 6, 2000.
Huh.
He 1928 to 2000. This guy died of old age. Genuinely kind of impressive.
Yeah, imagine ending an entire country. Imagine ending an entire country and then getting taken out by old age.
Imagine surviving World War II, the breakup of and being like partially responsible for the breakup of Yugoslavia, and managing to live through that to old age. That's crazy.
That's nuts. That's some lore right there.
That's like actually impressive. I am kind of impressed.
Kid, I've seen some things. Yeah. I've done some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
It's pretty nuts. It's, oh my goodness, I don't even know what to do with this information now. I'm
You're
kind of like
welcome.
I mean, well, here's the thing.
It's like in shock, right?
Well, here's where I'm gonna go with this. Actually, here's where I'm gonna go with this because there's a serious history consideration in and
Yeah.
amongst all this. The serious history consideration is that in history, there's different perspectives on why do things happen in history. There's more than one perspective on why do things happen in history, and one perspective on this that is generally derided these days is called the great man hypothesis, the great man theory. And the strong version, which is the original version of it is actually very strong. Strong in the logic sense, as in like it's hard to prove. And if proven, it proves very much. The original version of the great man theory is that all significant change in history is caused by particularly talented individuals. That if we don't have Alexander the Great and Ramesses II and Caesar and guys like this, everybody will just kind of keep on doing whatever they're doing. Like history is driven forward by exceptional individuals. And this is generally not taken very seriously as a theory at this point. And there is I think, though, that sometimes there's a little bit of an overcorrection into thinking that history is entirely non-determined by individuals. That no individual actors and no individual events actually matter. That everything is driven by vague, very coarse, very broad historical pressures that transcend any decision any person could ever make. And I think that's an overcorrection.
I agree.
I think that's an overcorrection. I think if Hitler dies during the beer hall push, we have a very different 20th century.
Yeah.
I just don't. At least at times, is it not the event that causes the great? Maybe, but also like having read. There are a couple of historical figures where like I look at them and it's like, if this person didn't have these skill sets at this time, there was nobody else who would have stepped up. Is kind of where I'm going with it. Is like nobody else would have been in a position to do this.
I mean, from that same token, I don't think there really was anybody in Yugoslavia at that point that had the capacity and desire to shove a glass bottle up their ass.
Yep.
So I think Dorde was probably like the man for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the chosen one.
I would have to know more and meditate more on the breakup of Yugoslavia, a thing I'm not that familiar with, to figure out how much was this just like a minor acceleration on ethnic tensions.
I think it had the same. I think it's Franz Ferdinand levels of impactful.
Okay. You think Franz Ferdinand? That's okay. I can understand that.
That's kind of where I go to it, where it's like, hey, this one action has like 90 different domino effects.
Yeah. Well, so and the historical figure that I like to I brought up Hitler, a historical figure that I did study with a fair amount of depth and have concluded that like, if this guy wasn't this particular kind of guy, history actually does wind up being like pretty different in a pretty substantive way. Is Cortez? Is Cortez? Hernan Cortez is based on even pretty critical histories of the guy. Really shockingly talented at some very specific things that turned out to be extremely useful for the Spanish conquest of the New World.
Really?
Yeah. And part of the reason why I cite that, no, this is not just like Spain just rolled over the Aztec Empire effortlessly. There's a couple pieces of evidence there. One is that the first place that he landed at was he was fighting Yucatec Maya. He fought a battle against some Yucatec Maya. And this was a group of Yucatec Maya that had previously fought another Spanish commander and completely bodied the Spanish.
Really?
Yes, they completely bodied the Spanish, and then Cortez rolls up and sweeps them.
That's fucking crazy.
Cortez does something that I think very few other Spanish commanders would have done, which is that the campaign for the conquest of Mexico, of central Mexico, is a multi-year long campaign. And there are a lot of different incidents of Cortez trusting the advice of Native Americans over the advice of other Spaniards. And I think other Spaniards would not. Yes, he was absolutely a criminal, Scaldy. He was absolutely a criminal. Yeah. Extremely. And I don't just mean in this like a broad sense. I mean, there was a warrant for his arrest. He did not have orders to go to Mexico. He made it up. He forged it. And then there was a warrant for his arrest put out while he was still in Cuba, and he just immediately pulled out of port and went to Mexico with just whatever was loaded, which did not include the payroll. He left the money behind. So he had to spend
fucking crazy.
He spent 2 years fending off mutiny because he wasn't paying his soldiers. Which I don't think most commanders would have been capable of doing. I think most of them would have gotten killed. It would have been killed or cooed by their own soldiers. And my final piece of evidence that he is something kind of exceptional, before I get into like the weird nitpicky stuff, is one of the battles that he fought was against another Spanish army.
Really?
And he won by similar odds.
So,
like,
my question stemming from that, right?
Yeah.
Would be like, again, how the fuck?
How the fuck? He nearly died when he was 14. Because he was stooping another man's wife. And he escaped through the window.
Again, what the fuck?
He jumped out the window to run away from a guy with a sword. When he was a teenager. He was not actually considered pretty like unhealthy and weak physically speaking. And like he fought on the front lines. Like that was part of the reason why he didn't get cooed, was that he was like constantly like with the soldiers like on the front.
Yeah,
like,
so it's like they knew him.
Yeah, and they saw him like get hit. They saw him like get like stabbed and stuff. And like he didn't suffer any major injuries. Dude's wild. Cortez is a crazy character in history. And like what happens if Cortez doesn't pull this off? And I think an important part of the answer here is that all of the advantages that Spain had against the Triple Alliance, against the Aztec Empire, they had against the Maya to the east. And what Cortez did in 2 years, and like 3 battles, it took the rest of Spain 270 years to do.
That's insane.
So like, that's part of the reason why I get kind of cranky when people are like, oh, it's just because of like the disease thing. It's like, no, that's no, like, because the disease applied to the Maya as well, and it took them 270 years. Like, get the pew-pews and snooze to do. So like, I'm kind of in the opposite camp of the like, oh, this is just like Spain just had this much of a military advantage. No, I think that if history had gone differently and Cortez got dropped in the Caucasus Mountains at the same time, Ottoman history comes completely different. Like, this is a guy who was just really talented at causing problems for other people.
Hey, listen, sometimes there are people like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes genuinely people come along that are just like, their main talent is being like the fucking wild card thrown into a conflict.
Yeah, no, the guy was a living grenade, and you can tell part of just kind of going more on about Cortez is like, I don't think no America different, Scaldy, but I do think very different America. Yeah. I do think very different America. There's enough things that fractal out from there that I'm not like entirely sure. Like part of the course of what happens here for the more history nerding here. The Aztec Empire, when Cortez hit it, is not in a good spot. It is not like a healthy empire. He does not roll up to like a political situation that is like highly stable and powerful. he rolls up to a tributary empire that has pissed off everybody to a radical extent. One of the first things that happens when he gets into Mexico is like he rolls into a city that's one of the tributary components of the Aztec Empire, and the guy who runs this city-state is like, hey man, do you want to help us overthrow the Aztecs? like immediate. These people are despised.
Yeah.
But the thing is that like, and there's also some independent states around the Aztecs. There's the Tlaxcala. I forget how to pronounce it. I forget how to pronounce it. There's the Zapotecs. That was one of the famous ones. Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it? I can remember. Okay, I'm trying to not use the name because the name that I'm thinking about is yeah, the name that I remember is considered derogatory. The Arechiqua, the Irachiqua, the Irachiqua and the Purepecha were also were independent, and so he rolls up and there's these independent countries and these tributary countries that all hate the Triple Alliance, which is centered in Tenochtitlan. And Tenochtitlan gets burned to the ground, but he just does it so fast that the Tlaxcala people are just like in. The Tlaxcala people are just fucking in. They're just like, okay, we're part of this new empire now, and they're like,
we're rolling with it.
We're rolling with it. They get really good deals from the incoming Spanish. Being descended from the Tlaxcala is like a privileged position to Spain in Mexico to this day. And then like the Arechiqua are an independent country, and they're like testing the boundaries of their independence. They're like they're independent, and then like they say like, okay, we're going with the Spanish because the Spanish just rolled the military superpower in like 2 years. Like they just did it like instantly. They just rolled them over. These guys are people we need to like not be on their bad side.
Yeah.
And then they like start testing the boundaries of this because the Spanish are like, okay, you owe us taxes, right? Like we won't do anything to you as long as you pay us taxes. And then the Arechiqua are like, okay, we're gonna like withhold on taxes. We're gonna lie about our productivity, the normal shit.
Just every yeah.
Normal shit, normal shit. And the Spanish then roll up with a small army, and they're like, stop fucking around, and they just surrender instantly because they look at what happened to Tenochtitlan. And if we have 200 years, if we have the conquest of central Mexico takes like 200 plus years, like maybe that's different.
Honestly, I think for me, my like example of that, less with like people, but more like large kind of movement event kind of thing. Yeah. The burning of the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah. It's
like we would be so much more technologically advanced right now if it were not for that fucking event.
Historians are complicated on this one because a lot of the stuff was like on loan to other places, but also like it does. I cannot believe the strong version of that, which is that like we didn't lose anything. This is like, it's very difficult to prove that, like, I find it difficult to believe we didn't lose anything, but we definitely lost something. And
I feel like people saying we didn't lose anything is like the most massive cope.
We probably lost less than like the most maximalist version because like at a kind of bare minimum, we don't see a sudden decline in like knowledge and capabilities from people around the event, right? Like we don't see like all of a sudden like things like start slowing down. Which is different from like Rome withdrawing from France and England, where like we can see very quickly like thigh bones get smaller in human remains. Hello Cotton Candy Floss VT. Hello, and also hello Xanadu. Or I should say X_A_N_N_A_D_U_. I actually rather enjoy doing people's names extremely literally, like Kendra_Branwin.
I do that too whenever I'm fucking, if Inari and I are playing like a visual novel game or like a like a very heavily story-based one where it's a lot of dialogue and reading, whenever they do like the ellipses on the screen, I'll do like dots, you know, some shit like that.
Dots. Yeah.
Dots.
Well, like particularly when like you're in the zone on like maintaining a particular voice, like it's literally easier to do that than to like actually try to parse out a name.
Oh yeah, or like if they are doing like an expressive noise where it's like, you know, like an exclamation point or like geck exclamation point, you know, it would be like, I didn't expect that to happen. Geck exclamation point, comma.
Yeah, just read everything literally. Just be super literal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Very nice to see you, comma, colon, exclamation point.
But yeah, Cotton Candy, we were discussing the ways in which history can turn on small things. It's not always big things. Sometimes it turns on small things. And there are places where, like, so for example, Caesar crossing the Rubicon is a big deal event. I think without that, if things break differently, the Republic still falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, because like fundamentally,
the Republic was rotten by like 100 CE, by 100
like
BCE.
That was, yeah,
like he was taking advantage of an opportunity that existed because of the rot that was part of the Empire. And while Caesar was an exceptionally skilled general, he wasn't like that much more radically skilled than other Roman generals. The Roman system produces a lot of very good generals, and literally one of his friends is a similar skilled general, Ptolemy.
Well, the other issue again, like we were saying, is like it was rotten from the fucking core. So it's like by the time he rolled around, there were already pre-existing issues. It's just those pre-existing issues got way more exacerbated at that time.
Yeah, Caesar took advantage of a situation, and if it wasn't him, I do think that somebody else would have done it, because he was a very good general, but the Roman system produced quite a few good generals on a pretty regular basis, and like we can think of several that existed within plus or minus a generation of him.
Yeah.
And all it really took was like somebody ambitious enough. I wasn't thinking about Nero. I was thinking about Ptolemy. Sulla could have just behaved slightly differently, and the whole thing collapses an entire generation earlier. 30 years earlier, and the whole thing's just gone. I think both Octavian and Anthony could have also caused the empire to fall on their own.
Oh yeah.
Like a generation later. Like, yeah.
It's interesting too, because when you look across that as well, like in the modern day, you can see a lot of parallels between what happened in Rome and what is happening in certain parts of the world right now.
Yes. I mean, that's the thing, right?
Being very vague in what I'm saying, but like,
no, it's. I mean, I think it's this crazy thing where there's a whole joke, right, where the hold on, I said Ptolemy, I meant Pompey. I'm sorry, I mixed up my P guys. Not Ptolemy of Egyptian fame, but Pompey of Roman fame. I apologize.
Imagine being named Pompey.
Yeah.
By the way, imagine being named Pompey and then Pompeii is a fucking,
Yeah. That's probably why I mixed it up. I was like, it can't be named after the volcano. That's not right. Here's a first piece of knowledge. There is an actual Roman historical figure whose name is literally, I'm going to spell it out in chat. I hope I spelled it right, or else I'm going to embarrass myself here. And it is spelled the way you're thinking.
That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Yep. Emperor Pupienus.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Pompey was part of the triumvirate. Yeah, and I'd say he was a similarly skilled general to Caesar. It's there are these events like that. There are these characters like that. There are these moments like that. And sometimes I feel like I look at it and I'm like, I don't think it really particularly matters. Like I said, I don't know how much Julius Caesar very specifically matters, because the problems facing the Roman Republic at this point are outputs of how they work with the socii, and now the new citizenry, the need for expansion, the way that the senatorial class works, the way that the relationships between the various constitutional arms of the Roman state. Oh yeah, here, I'm sorry, I got drawn off of the track here. The actual track.
Oh no, you're
on,
fine.
yeah,
I will say I have to be right back really quick.
I'm gonna show us to ads because I'm gonna use. I need to use the bathroom anyway, so we'll be back.
It's good.
We'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, once.
And we're back, and we're back.
Hello.
Hello, folks.
No.
But yeah, it's where were we? I completely forgot. That was a slightly longer break.
Talk about Rome.
Rome. Yes. So there was this meme a while ago about like, oh, men think about Rome like every day, and I'm honestly surprised that it was that low. That like anybody was surprised by this, at least within America, because America very like explicitly designs its civic infrastructure and its art and its constitutional norms on ancient Rome. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's accurate.
Yeah, like, dude, this is not like a so like if you look at any major public infrastructure in our country, it's Roman columns. Like it's yeah.
I mean, not even that, but we also had like the inspiration, the idea of a long sort of water transfer system, like how we have modern plumbing that traces all the way back to fucking Rome as well.
Yeah, Romans got their pipes. Romans got their pipes. And so it's
and
this
aqueducts.
is not. What was that?
And aqueducts.
And and wine and all sorts of stuff. It's my Roman Empire. Yes, Pekon Neko. That's where that comes from. It's like a Roman Empire, and that is like not. It's like not a reference to the Roman Empire. It's a reference to the meme that people think about the Roman Empire all the time. That it's the shorthand for what is like a thing that you think about on a very, very regular basis. It's not a shorthand for like a thing like your grand accomplishment or whatever. It's a shorthand for like a thing that you are kind of like passively obsessed with. That is a lie. The bot is lying. Don't worry about it. We just got out of ads. You can't set up the bots to do like the ad manager says in 3 minutes, or at least I haven't figured out how to do it. It counts downward from the previous ad break. So it's just T plus 60 from the last ad break is when that triggers. Well, 57. Whereas the whoa ads be upon you counts backwards by 5 seconds, which is neat.
Actually, okay.
Yeah.
Completely random fucking tangent. By the way,
absolutely, my dude.
This is completely like so far out of left field. It's gonna be painful. You know, like the like tests that cops have people do sometimes, where it's like, oh, say the alphabet backwards, or like count fucking. I feel like I would have difficulty with some of those fucking tests sometimes.
Yeah, even when it's completely sober. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's that's 100% true. Like stand on one leg and touch your nose. It's like I'm pretty good at that because I do yoga, but like that doesn't feel like a fair consideration. I know a lot of people who struggle to stand on one leg, no matter what's going on. No matter what is going on.
Like I have always imagined like do you ever get in the the shower and like imagine scenarios with yourself in different scenarios that will never happen, but it would be really interesting if it did?
I try not to, because what the form that takes for me, and it's much more often when I'm like trying to go to bed, is like remembering awkward conversations and how I could have been more clever during them.
Oh God. So, no, I do that too.
I try to shut off that impulse. Especially shower is my time for completely brain shut off.
Yeah, if I like have a conversation with somebody and I feel like I came off like a certain way, I will replay what I said in my head like
a million
thousands of times. Yeah. It's fucking rough. It is rough out here for a pimp.
Oh yeah, no. It's this is what they meant by pimping ain't easy. Is that eventually you have to take a shower and think about yourself.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I try to avoid that. But yeah, you're trying to imagine yourself in
Yeah, like, officer, I don't know what I can do to assuage you of the, concerns that I might be under the influence, but I assure you, I'm not, just because I cannot recite the alphabet backwards.
Yeah, I remember like hearing that one several times, and like I started like trying to like being afraid of that like coming up, and
Yeah.
and so I was like, I would have to be like, I was like practicing it in my head.
Yeah.
I was like practicing. I was like ZYXW, and then like it starts getting rough. Like it's like it's I suppose if I was truly dedicated, if I truly was dedicated, I would memorize a song for it, right?
Because yeah, it's on that same tier. Oh, sorry. So go.
Well, it's just like from like the cop perspective. Imagine like you do pull somebody over and you're trying to figure out, you're trying to do like the like how inebriated is this person test, and like you're like, okay, say the alphabet backwards, and they just like no sell it.
Yeah, that would be okay. Like the best card though would be like asking it back on some slit mouth woman shit. It's like the only way to get out of her is to either give her candy or say, well, do I look pretty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, can you recite the alphabet backwards for us so we can have a test to see whether or not you're not under the influence? Or can you?
Yeah.
Like, you failed to do so. All right, can you? Big man, can you? But
we'll do it together as a family.
Yeah.
Sing along with me, officer.
Yeah, I think that what's it called? There was I remember where it was. There was a story of a guy who actually got pulled over, and the cop tried like every like tactic to try and prove that he was inebriated, and he passed every single one, and the guy was just going, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, the fact that if like you're trying to make somebody pass a test and like they just like pass the test, and then like the consequences of the failing the test is like you ruin their life, like you just want to ruin somebody's life.
Yeah. But it's you know what it does? It's on that same line of thinking of I don't know if you ever watch like true crime shit.
I don't.
Okay.
There was some. I used to watch one that was about engineering disasters, which is a type of true crime, but I stopped a few years ago. But yeah, keep going.
That's fair. No, it's so in a lot of them they show like the interrogation footage, and the narrator will be talking about like the body language of people in the interrogation footage. Like, oh, he looked to the left, the signals he's thinking about this, or he looked to the he scratched his chin and everything like that, and it gets so like. And they're accurate, don't get me wrong, they're accurate. But it gets to such a degree with the body language analysis that you start thinking about the shit that you do, and it's like, damn, I do this just by natural. And like there's no hidden meaning to it. So it's like I do this by natural. If I was in a fucking interrogation room, I am screwed.
Well, I mean, it's part of what's infuriating to me about it is that like excuse me.
Good.
The way that I hear people talk about body language in online context, they're talking about some absolute pseudoscience.
Yeah.
But it's not that the concept of being able to read another person's body language is nonsense. I think I'm pretty good at it in reality. But this is not usually in the sense like I can tell that this person's thinking about like X thing, other than it's like I can see how, like if I'm in a conversation with like 5 people, there are things that people will do that are like, they are ready to talk, but they're not ready to actually interrupt.
Yeah.
And particularly if you taught, I taught for years, right? I was a teacher for many years. And so like, this is something I noticed because of like my students. I can tell like when my students are like confused and when they need, like when they want to ask me a question and they haven't like screwed up the courage to volunteer that, and like that I need to call on them, because like you'll see like a way that people kind of like square their shoulders or turn their head a little bit, that like they are trying to communicate with you. It's not nothing. But, it's the way that I hear it talked about on Twitter is that it's mind reading. That it's not communication, that it's mind reading, which is...
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's pseudoscience. At least that interpretation is pseudoscience, because in the legitimate way to do body language is more of it's not mind reading, but it is unconscious communication of the unconscious. I think probably the best summarization of that. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna, you gotta follow me on this because I'm gonna sound like a fucking addict in a minute.
Let's go.
As much as Freud was crazy, right? A lot of his theories don't hold up. I want to point out, by the way, Miso is currently pawing at you on my screen.
Hell yeah.
My little kitten that's on my desk. Yeah.
Good taste, Miso. Thank you.
Oh yeah. So he had a lot of interesting theories that don't hold a lot of weight nowadays.
Yeah.
But I think that he definitely had a lot going for him in terms of the unconscious plays a massive fucking role in a lot of shit we do, and it is so far beyond our understand, the realm of our own understanding, that I think, when we look at body language analysis and stuff like that, I think that's a great example of it. Because you have people where it is legitimate, hey, they will saying yes but shaking your head kind of thing, and that being an unconscious go of hey, did you do XYZ? And it's no, I didn't, but you're nodding your head at the same time for a yes, kind of thing like that. I think there is some water in that section where it's as I said, it's a unconscious admittance of what either our conscious does not want to say or what we are unconsciously thinking or feeling.
I can see that. I
don't know if that made any fucking sense.
No. Well, so I will have to give you the little bit of the a little bit of positivity here, or I guess maybe affirmation, maybe or relief, I should say. I'm actually not a Freud hater.
Oh,
I'm just not a Freud hater. I think he's wrong about a lot of things.
Yes.
I think if we are to evaluate the specific conclusions he made, generally pretty wrong. I don't think this is that big of a deal for a researcher.
Yeah.
I think that the questions and the framework that he was working in were very valuable, and we can tell that they're very valuable because we continue to use them to this day. We don't we tend to ignore a lot of, we tend to look at very specific things that he said and be like, oh, this is worthless. But you ask the question a second time. You take the same question, you ask it a second time and take it more seriously than he did, and you get better answers. And that's still a very valid and useful branch of therapy.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of people see he was a coke addict. He was, he had an obsession with sexuality and everything like that, and then they immediately dismiss 90% of anything he's done. But it's at the same time, in many aspects of psychology, even if not for the fact that some of his points were so extreme, it led to many of the branches we have today. It led to many of the positions we have. Even if he didn't directly contribute to that, people felt so strongly about his viewpoints and about what he believed in, which when you look at the shit that he went through, it becomes very, very clear, why he held some of those viewpoints, especially the more pessimistic ones. But even as a reaction, we would not have a lot of the areas of psychology that we do were it not for him presenting those ideas in the first place. Horny wouldn't have even made some of her responses had he not talked about, the whole male aspect of things, and it pissing her off so fucking badly, which I find absolutely hilarious. Hi.
I mean, that's how research goes all the time.
Oh yeah. No, I just love the level of spite where it's okay, you know what? This scientific paper pissed me off so fucking badly I am going to make a counter theory, and I'm going to she pulled off one of the first fucking ratios. she pulled off, in my opinion, one of the first like ratios in history, because she essentially saw I don't remember what theory it was exactly. I think it was the whole penis envy thing. That Freud was touting, that she then put out her own like female counterpoint for it. And I find that whole like back and forth thing absolutely funny.
I mean, that's part of how research goes, and I don't want to credit like people with like doing good because of the reactions to their work. But like the people who are sincere heirs to Freud have gotten good work done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, iChives. Hello, and welcome back, Kendra. The one that I keep on thinking about is that we have tested out how different forms of therapy impact different mental illnesses. And one of the ones that I find really interesting and impressive is that in the field of is it for treating eating disorders, psychotherapy is actually very strong.
Oh yeah.
Psychotherapy actually gets very good results. And I don't think this should actually be that surprising when you think about what psychotherapy really is, which is an approach to therapy that focuses on the intellectual causation. Like the unconscious intellectual causation, not on like how do your experiences change you and cause you to do things you don't want to do. That's the core of what Freud's concern was. And for people who haven't done a lot of therapy, the most popular form of therapy in the United States is cognitive behavioral therapy.
CBT, love CBT. I love CBT so much.
Yeah, that's why you have to pay extra amounts for it if you go to the right part of town. But CBT is generally not very concerned with like the deeper stuff in your life. It's about what is the mental process that happens in the preceding like half hour before you do something stupid, not on like how do you have these like deeper habits. And so CBT is often like not super useful for dealing with a lot of problems.
No, I mean, I think in terms of
it's useful for some things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it has its uses, but it's definitely overapplied.
Yeah, it is absolutely overapplied. I'm honestly like, I think Mix knows this better than me. I feel like I should talk to, and Sidereal would probably as well. I should talk to some of the psychologists in my life about like, so why is CBT the most dominant form of therapy by like such a wide margin? Like it's so dominant.
I have an opinion on this. I have a really, really strong opinion on this. And it's such a simple fucking viewpoint. Zero fucking evidence to back it up aside from just, what I have read and seen with both like different treatments and, different I guess coverages that it's been used for. The easiest fucking thing to throw people at, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it is the easiest thing to fucking throw people at because the application has been so broadened as to what you can use CBT to treat for that it's kind of like an Ouroboros kind of situation, if that makes any sense. It's like the issue is that it's so broad, but because it's so broad, narrowing it down becomes impossible.
So,
I should specify, it has become so broad in terms of how people use it and how it has been applied to different individuals and cited in different case studies that it has kind of self-perpetuated that broadness, even if it is inherently a negative thing. If that makes any fucking sense.
No. I was going to actually go somewhat further on this one. That when I think about so like I think that a more cynical version of this is I think that it's also the way in which you can explain things to the insurance agency.
Yeah,
you can like it's much easier to explain to your insurance and to your lawyers and such. Like, this person has these symptoms. We are going to treat, as Xanadu says, we're going to treat those symptoms directly. We're going to give this person homework, and they will fill out spreadsheets, and they will say, when I feel X, I do X. When X happens, I do Y. And that's so much easier to describe and to make timelines for and to put on a billing sheet and to explain to people who are pretty skeptical about this whole mental illness concept, that it is way easier to justify.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, and I do think that also plays a part in it as well, is the fact that it just makes it easier for places like that as well to I guess write off, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah.
No, it is. And not that I think other methods should, not that I'm saying we should fuck around with people, right? Like, fuck around with people's mental health to try and find, like, okay, this is the treatment we should use for XYZ in, proper scenario. But it's like, like, great example, right? I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, we need less CBT, more psychiatry, and, more pill treatment, right? I'm not going to start advocating that. But it's like, I think looking toward other lenses and applying prior looked into, I guess, frames of thinking would be very beneficial to the community at this point.
Yeah.
Simply because of, I think, where we've come as a society, where I feel like those kind of, like, great example. I think like Jungian psychology, like with the study of dreams and that entire aspect, I think would be it'd be very beneficial nowadays, in my humblest of opinions, because I feel like that kind of miso, that's the power chord, sweetie. If you hit that, I disappear. But I feel like that would be very, like, useful nowadays, and I feel like that would help a lot of people. I feel like we box treatment into a literal treatment category rather than like letting it kind of hit, yes, treatment, but also a slightly more esoterical angle that I feel like has been lost within the culture for a minute.
We are, I mean, Kendra, I suppose like us VTubers are a society, but I do think that, like, we always live in society, right? Humans are obligate social creatures.
We live in a society.
We live in a society. We live in many societies. We live in many societies, and we are constantly living in societies, and the study of dreams is kind of shaky.
Yeah.
It
definitely does.
I had a really stupid dream the other day, and the person who was involved might be aware of this. Might be the person from who not aware of this. Maybe the other person, the other party of this. I was waiting for a call the other day, and I was really tired, and I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I was like, yesterday was really exhausting, but I'm really glad I talked with X person last night. That really, like, took a load off. It was a very nice conversation. Like, I get up and I, like, brush my teeth and I work out, and then I check my phone, and I definitely missed the call.
Oh shit.
They definitely did not talk to me. I definitely just imagined that. I definitely just dreamed having a nice phone call with my friend.
I've been there. I when I wake up in the morning, sometimes I dream that I go through my entire morning ritual.
I tend to do the opposite. I tend to be in very
really.
I tend to not remember my dreams very well, and there was a period where I had a very rigid, what's the word? Schedule. There we go. A very rigid schedule. I showed up at work the same time every single day, and like I got to the point on like my ability to do my morning routine on road that like I would like wake up in the middle of my commute.
Really?
Like I would just wake up and it was like my first memory of the day is like I am dressed, I am showered, I am on the train. Like very weird. Very weird.
Oh yeah. That would scare the shit out of me, honestly.
I never actually like remember the experience of waking up, or falling asleep. Like people are like, what is it like when you fall asleep? I have no idea, man. Like hey, we got Pink Morph. We got Pink Morph. Morph was asking about like changing models around, like fooling around with models. He has been constrained. He has been restrained. He has not broken out the really goofy one.
Yeah, so I actually don't really have a really like goofy model, surprisingly.
Okay, I'm using the word goofy loosely here.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. No, so funnily enough, I did not actively change my color. That is all miso. That is all miso right now.
Your cat is hitting your stream deck or something?
She is hitting my stream deck, or not my stream. Well, I don't have a stream deck, but I have a keyboard. But okay. She's hitting my keyboard and actively changing the color of my hair and throwing a fish in my mouth at the same time.
I did see the fish thing. I was like, I thought you were just fooling off. You were just fooling around.
Oh no, she's going nuts right now. She's trying to attack. She's pawing at me right now. It's actually quite cute. This is a very wholesome moment, and I'm very happy that I can share this with you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, all right, we're Mandela catalog now. And she's back under the bed because the vacuum's going on.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, not that, or that. Still not that. There we go. That's back to normal. No, I don't think all like dreams would fall in that category, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. Most of my dreams are shit that I'm afraid of. I mostly have nightmares. Actually, I'd say 90% of the time I don't remember my dreams at all. 90+% of the time, nothing.
Do you have any recurring nightmares?
I did have one, but I can't actually remember what it was. The nightmare that I really remember was like a really good friend of mine when I was younger was allergic to bees.
Oh no.
And I remember this nightmare that like she got stung by a bee and I couldn't find her EpiPen. Oh
no.
And the entire dream is like me like running around and begging for an EpiPen. Well, she's like choking. Not great. And I think that's a pretty straightforward example of your dreams reflect your preoccupations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's I think that anybody who has watched me game for any length of time has probably noticed that my to me the most strong motivation to play games is to have the power to help people in a way I feel like I don't have in real life.
I feel that.
Yeah, so like
no, I feel that.
Yeah, like this is like this is why I that's the power fantasy for me, is I can make everybody's lives better, and that's so you like this fits into that as like the anxieties and problems that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I honestly kind of feel that because I have a recurring dream, or I have a recurring nightmare. Mm-hmm. That I am back in high school and I don't know where my fucking classroom is.
I actually have had that one in the last couple of years.
Frantically searching to try and find my class schedule, and I cannot find it because
God,
I would never. I reached a certain point in my schooling where I just stopped giving a shit about putting things in folders and putting things in like if it wasn't for a specific class and it was just something in general, I'd throw that shit in. I just would not care. So I have consistently had a dream every few years that I'm just back in high school trying to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go for class. I can't remember. I also have another one. So like that plays on my anxiety, right? Like I can read that easily, and my like fuck it, we ball mentality with a lot of things that I do. But I know another one that I have that I still cannot decipher is a consistent reoccurring nightmare. It doesn't happen often. It happens like once every year, but it's still often enough that I remember it. I will dream that I am running through a neighborhood, like a suburbia, at night, unlit, only like streetlights and shit, right? I run into I'm running away from like a headless horseman, and I'm running into a garage. I then climb in one of the cabinets, and then a girl tells me, no, that's not the right place. And then I get into a trash can, and then she's like, great, I'll be right back. And then I get out of the trash can, and then there's a laundry room for some reason, and then I wake up. All the any armchair psychologists that are therapists or psychologists that are watching, feel free to give me give me an analysis on that.
Yeah, give me the freebie.
Yeah, because I certainly can't fucking figure out what that means.
I don't have an answer on that one.
It's a lot to take in, right? It's a lot to take in. Yeah, right.
Well, no, I'm like in streamer brain. Like when I was younger, I used to be able to that was like a thing I would do for like my friends and stuff, because I come from like a hippie family, right? I come from a hippie family, and I am, and like a lot of the people I was hanging out with were pretty like, into tarot and astrology and stuff like that. So like, here's the guy who's like into like dream interpretation. But like, I would need to like think about that. I probably need to hear it again. I need to like, hold on. I was not like putting a particularly critical eye on that.
Oh no, you're fine. I mean, I could repeat it if you want.
Let's keep rolling just for the sake of radio.
Okay,
for the sake of radio, unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, no, it's. Man, fucking... The Interpretation of Dreams is a good book. I will say that. That's like a really good book.
Oh, yeah.
Freud is writes some pretty interesting stuff in that one, I would say.
He had a very interesting life, I think.
Yeah.
Like from childhood till the end of there. He was a pessimistic son of a bitch, though. Like he had a bad, not a bad outlook. But just a general negative view of other people, which is fine. I mean, to each their own. But I do think it is interesting that a lot of modern day theories you can very easily tie back to him, and people shit on him all the time.
I think this is partially like a result of like a bad pop cultural understandings.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's a lot of it. And this is like a constant bugbear. A constant bugbear of mine of the way in which a term will get like really used badly. I'm actually going to back away from that for a second, because Goblin said something I think is kind of interesting. Dreams have little connection to your psychological health. I'm not sure, because I would feel like I always have more nightmares and remember them much more vividly when I'm more stressed out.
I can
Like
Okay,
anecdotal. That's very anecdotal, but like.
Yeah. I can kind of. I have a counterpoint to that actually, if that's okay.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I think that if we're talking about psychological health, I think dreams and the connection to psychological health, it does have some ties, but they are not consistent, and they are not always readily present, if that makes any sense. So I think that the ties they can have do not consistently show enough to inherently prove that they are, connected, but they are still connected, in my opinion. Like, great example. Fucking, I'm trying to think of a very elegant way to conjugate this.
Okay.
For stream reasons. So
okay.
Let's say you haven't done a certain activity for a long period of time. We'll say about maybe like a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might have a dream related to a certain activity. Or I think, if we're actually, if you want a less sort of lewd kind of.
You're saying, like, if you don't drink water for a week, you'll start having lots of dreams about the ocean.
I mean, I could see that. I think I'm more apt. I'm
pretty sure you won't, because you'll die. But yeah.
No, yeah. But I mean, like, I think a more apt one would be like, consistent high amounts of stress being tied to people having nightmares more consistently. I feel like that would be a more apt example. A lot better than kind of where I was going, which was, if you don't do a certain activity, one that is completely banned in December for a lot of people, for a certain period of time, you might have a certain dream that is, interesting. But yeah, no, I think high stress and nightmares could easily be tied together, and there have been cases where that has been a thing.
Yeah. That just feels intuitive to me, but I don't have
so still working through it how the unconscious mind utilizes the visual spatial scale. Yeah, no, and like I said, it's a weird. That's why actually I'm very interested in that machine that people are developing. I don't know if it's an AI or if it's a fucking scanner that'll let you like kind of replay people's dreams to an extent. I think that would be very, very interesting. Just because it would kind of allow us to kind of go into that realm a little bit more, because I feel like analyzing dreams and analyzing what processes the brain kind of goes through with dreams is very hard because it is mainly anecdotal.
Yeah. There's a problem with like all sorts of data, like psychological and non-psychological is a real nightmare of our life. That, like, what evidence do we have for X, Y, and Z? What are our evidences? And the famous one, the really famous one, is how can we possibly talk about doing scientific and statistical analysis on astrophysics and the origin of the universe because we only have one universe.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's n equals 1. Which is a really funny way to think about it, right? That like the biggest stuff we actually wind up being able to be the least scientific about because we cannot do experiments, right? We cannot do an experiment on the Big Bang. That doesn't even make sense. Yeah. We cannot do an experiment on stellar formation. That involves truly ludicrous amounts of power and energy that we don't have any hope of getting close to.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's neat.
Which I think that is also, our capability to hypothesize on things like that, be it either dreams or, on the on that end with the Big Bang and everything like that, where a lot of it is theoretical or anecdotal. I think that is also a fantastic testament to human creativity.
Yeah.
To be able to even conceptualize that, because if like when you put it into perspective, right, trying to describe some of the theories that people have created, or some of the inventions that we have, like except if you tried to explain like a cell phone to a Neanderthal, kind of thing, right? Like they can't even conceptualize that shit. And I think it's a very fascinating kind of path to go down when you kind of consider it's like that is a fantastic testament to human creativity and ingenuity.
Yes.
Just being able to do that to begin with.
Yeah. No, it's
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
In response to the comment.
Yeah, in response to what Xanadu said, that there's undeniable connection to dreams and how they affect the body. For example, erotic or wet dreams are more frequent. Person feel frustrated in that area. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
That's what I was hinting at with the December thing.
Yeah, yeah. You were a little bit too coy by making it December and not November.
Oh shit! I was wrong. Fuck.
I was like,
shit! I remembered wrong.
Don't dick December, I guess.
Yeah, well, I forgot it was no, not November, and then destroy your dick December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You could trying to sanitize it a bit. Yeah.
I am trying to keep things on the polite end of R-rated on my stream.
Yeah.
Which is just a matter of taste. Trying to stop people from just explicitly talking about sex on here is a completely losing battle, and frankly, I don't care.
Yeah.
Frankly, I
was trying to keep it very very kind of like suggestive of like, you know, this.
You were keeping it coy. You were keeping it coy because you hang out with Inari. And Inari is in a different position than me in several ways, and she prefers to be a little bit more safe for work. I do not give a shit because people will try to be horny at me, and then I'll like talk about statistics around divorce and stuff like that. Like it's
people will try to be horny around me.
Yeah, people like I. It's not even that I mind people sexualizing me. It's that I'm like just too much of a nerd.
Gotta beat them off with a stick, you know.
I'm just it is so funny that that's the phrase. A child of divorce. What was I going to say? God, it is so funny that that's the phrasing that we wound up with for folks who are not familiar with American English. There's a sort of like really stereotypical, like from TV kind of thing where a guy, usually an older guy, sometimes an older woman, is giving advice to a younger person and describing what they were like before they got married, and they'll say, you know, I was very handsome back in my day. Women were pursuing me so aggressively I had to beat them off with a stick. And that's the phrasing we use. The implicate, like the point being that like, oh no, like so many people were into me, I had to like be like very aggressive about refusing them. But the fact that it's specifically beat off is really funny. Like,
oh yeah, no,
like the fact that we converged on a phrasing that converged on the concept of masturbation, on a phrasing for masturbation is very amusing. It's a pretty
I mean, I feel like a lot of double entendres like that are inherently weaved into the English lexicon.
Oh yeah, because so let's look what you need to do.
No, I mean a lot of the language is built on that too.
It goes both directions. Hello, Ryan the Space God. Hello, Ryan the Space God.
Hello.
Yeah, it goes in multiple directions there. That like it's both like the double entendre needs to be like plausibly deniable. And it needs to be but like once everybody kind of cottons on to what's happening, then you then doesn't really operate in that way. Then it just kind of changes the language in a new way. And I don't know. I think this is a funny part of how language develops, and it's probably makes things very hard for ESL speakers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the best parts, English in particular, is really, in my opinion, I think it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time horrible. Like it is a double-edged sword inherently. because when you look at the idea of like the English language, in that it inherently takes different words from different languages and different meanings from different languages, and it combines it into its own fucking thing. The idea of a unified melting pot of language, aside from like the cultural implications, the idea of something like that in an appreciatory sense, I think is beautiful. But for people trying to pick up the language, oh my fucking god, it's horrible. It is terrible.
I have this conversation quite often, in no small part because I'm learning a second language, Japanese.
Yeah.
I speak some amount of Japanese, but I'm relearning it. I'm trying.
Yeah, I got preschooler level. Yeah.
Sold on it. I don't think I'm at preschooler level, but I am not at like even like late college level at this point. I've still got a ways to go. And the is in, at, on, into, and onto. Okay, so Peko Neko is a Spanish speaker. And so Peko Neko doesn't like our prepositions.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Very fair.
I've kind of enjoyed the joke that the mild observation that if you take a sentence and you change the one of the prepositions to through, it almost always becomes more intense. The famous one I remember being like I peed in the toilet. I peed through the toilet.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's yeah. No, I was going to pretty much repeat the same thing.
yeah. Inari, thank you for the 5 months. It's Inari. Got to give a shout out.
Speaking of Inari, by the way, and like Japanese speaking, fucking did I tell you about a really like funny thing that happened like a couple months ago?
No, fill me in, bud.
Okay. So we had joined like a world and everything like that, right? Basically, without like going like too deep into it, I got like on the spot tested and I got hyper flustered.
Which a world of what?
Oh, like a Japanese speaking world, everything like that.
In VR chat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was confused about. I was like in Minecraft, in Pokemon, in Fortnite.
But okay. I had to introduce myself, and I knew and know like the process, but I got hyper fucking flustered. And I realized an inherent flaw in one of my capabilities, which is that I got hyper fucking flustered. I froze pretty much. Yeah, that's the first time in my life that's ever fucking happened. And I realized I get very, very shy with that, which I think it ties back to just like not wanting to speak on something until I am 100% sure on it.
That's gonna be a problem for learning a new language.
Oh yeah, no, which is why like I mainly relegate myself to doing stuff like in private to an extent, or like great example, right? It's something that I just kind of got to beat out of myself at some point, because I had the same issue with like voice acting and everything like that. Like I hated listening to my fucking voice, and then I listened to it so often that it's just I've become numb to it. Which is, it's interesting too, because I have no problem giving speeches or like talking in like a public forum. I'm a fucking VTuber.
Yeah.
But when it came to that, yeah, no, I froze. I got so anxious and shit like that. But I'm really glad that it happened in a weird way, because it made me aware of that fact. But I thought it was really fucking funny that her and I got to see me freeze for the first time in fucking some odd years.
Like the first time your sister sees you freeze. Damn.
Yeah, it was really funny though. It was fucking adorable.
Well, let's work on this. Morp-san no jiko shokai.
Oh, I'm not doing it live. I'm too anxious to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hearing my voice played back at me genuinely made me stop joining VC. I your recorded voice is always going to sound weird to yourself because like there are resonances created by it being inside your own skull that make it sound different. I relay this pretty frequently. I have gotten a lot better at handling the sound of my own voice as I've been VTubing, and non-trivially, this is because my voice is different than it was a few years ago. I had a really bad COVID infection several years ago, and before then, my voice was more like this. It was quite a bit higher and a lot breathier. And now, like, this is kind of the voice that I will go into if I don't think very hard about it, if I just kind of, like, let myself roll. It's kind of my psychological voice, my in the matrix voice. But the truth of the matter is it strains my throat.
Yeah.
Like even doing that was kind of like straining my throat. Like I had to kind of like consciously think about talking in a slower and lower register. But because it's not the voice I grew up with, it doesn't bother me as much when I hear it recorded. That's an option. I think you are way more of a voice actor.
I mean, I'm just a guy. Yeah, for me, I just had to listen to like so many different samples because one of the things I've learned I like doing is finding a voice that I enjoy and then doing my absolute damnedest to try and steal and mimic it as much as humanly possible. And I may not always be successful, but I try, and that's what matters. But in order to get the voice like down to where I want it to be, I have to listen to myself doing it like over and over and over again. Like, I'll give a great example. Like Bug recently challenged me to try and learn the transatlantic accent.
I like the transatlantic accent. It's a fun one. It's a fun one to work with.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tricky to do without talking really fast. I don't really know how I can do it without kind of going into the speed thing because all I know how to do it is from how they do it on sports announcers. But yeah, I love it. I love it.
It's a really good accent, and I think it's
you're better at it.
I think it's quite nice. Yeah. No, I'm nowhere better, but I try and look at a lot of material. Yeah, it goes into different areas. It's a weird accent to pick up because it's very proper, but it does have that like slight twinge to it. I had to watch a lot of like 1950s shows. Actually, my mom helped me out a lot with trying to get like a baseline accent down for it because she actually can do the transatlantic accent fully.
That's very cool.
Which is fucking amazing.
That's very cool.
Yeah, like. Something to that end where it's like, oh yeah, we apologize. I'm sorry I missed your call, but later on we can have a good discussion and have some tea afterward and have a good talk about the good book. You know, what's it?
Like that. Throw in some ums and ahs, and then you can really sound like JFK.
Yeah, well, that's the plan.
yeah.
But no, it's interesting because I like picking up different accents. I like picking up different voices, everything like that. A, I like scaring the shit out of people with it, but B, I like seeing how much I can twist my voice. And Nari actually was the reason. I will not do this one on stream because it's fucking. I still cringe at it, but she actually showed me a clip of another VTuber. Doing a certain voice, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, I can't get my voice that high. And she was like, yeah, but it's like, it's still crazy. And then she we were just talking. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I just whipped out a fucking voice on her, and it scared the shit out of her. So like I go from so she's like we're chilling, right? She's I think they were playing like fucking Friday the 13th or some shit like that. Nari with no chill. Yeah, I mean it happens sometimes.
She's a very chill person 99% of the time, so like this must be very important.
Oh yeah, no, like I went from talking like this to talking like this, and like all the way up here. Yeah, totally. You know, shit like that. And I still like I cringe at it, but it's interesting because I didn't know I could get my voice up that high.
Huh. Well, and the thing about doing feminine voices, right, is it's not just about pitch, right? It's not just pitch. It's timbre. It's timbre.
Yeah.
You know, if you talk to somebody who has transitioned, like they'll talk about this. It's not just that, and even then, like I think you've got a pretty deep voice, Morp.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I'm kind of bad with tone, but I think that you do. But like, Clavio's a woman, and she's got a quite deep voice. Like this happens. This happens. There's like a whole gender thing where like I don't know that there's any men I would feel comfortable just saying like, oh, they've got a high pitched voice and have that be neutral, like a neutral statement. I think everybody would take that as an insult.
He can do it better. Yeah, I'm getting over a sinus infection and or bronchitis, so my throat's still a little fucked. But yeah, no, it's something. It's interesting. I have another one that I can't do solely because the guy that the voice belongs to is not a good person. But it is definitely certainly a voice. That being said, I will be right back. I smell cookies downstairs.
Okay, I will throw those on ads, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Just like
is that okay?
Yeah, so we're 10 minutes out from the next set of ads, so it'll just be a few minutes. We'll be back.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Right.
And we're back, and we're back, and we're back.
Hello.
Hello,
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 hello.
hello.
But yeah.
Yeah. Where the hell was I? Where the hell was I before you got back?
I was talking about the band voice I can't do.
Yeah. So yeah. I would like to have some more range to my voice talents. In no small part because my favorite one of the streamers I admire the most, she does a lot of voice acting.
Yeah.
And so like that's a lot of her content. A lot of her redeems are voice acting redeems.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I should. Transatlantic is definitely on the list. Transatlantic is definitely on my list.
I fucking love the transatlantic accent. It's great.
It's so good. It's so good. We did talk a little bit about this, but I may as well make sure that we catch chat up on the concept of the transatlantic accent, which is that the transatlantic accent is this accent that was really popular in the 20s and 30s on radio. Not in like real life. Like nobody nobody ever had it. It's not a natural accent. It was a deliberate attempt to make a sort of fusional accent between American English and British English.
Yeah.
Want it to sound a bit more fancier and have a bit more tone to the voice and be able to sound very intelligent, even if the person speaking wasn't necessarily of the highest acclaim.
Yes, exactly. It is entirely possible that like at least like somebody did speak with that accent. At this point I probably most associate it with the sports announcer from Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Probably the main association I've got. And we got mixed opinions in chat on the transatlantic accent.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's a pretty funny accent. I think it's pretty funny. I think it's fun to make fun of. And I obviously don't speak with it. I speak with general American dialect. And it's just like kind of I always find it interesting that the transatlantic accent was kind of created for radio. Like that was the purpose of it, was for radio broadcasters. And then in the post-war era, like they actually thought really hard about like, can people understand what we're saying? And the transatlantic accent doesn't use standard American R's.
No, it's a very soft R in my opinion.
Very soft R. It's a very soft R, which is unusual for Americans. Americans are kind of famous for our nasal R's.
Yeah.
For our harsh nasal.
Well, because I mean,
R's.
It's like it's a very soft R.
It's a very soft R in the transatlantic. Yeah.
It's very soft spoken in many places too. Like especially on the women's end, a very soft spoken, very I think the greatest. I cannot remember the actress's name, but it's that very curious, semi-innocent sounding tone. Like, well, I never, that kind of thing. Where it somewhat sounds like a question, but it's not a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're constantly shocked, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it was popularized, at least for the women on that end, by an actress, and I cannot remember the woman's name to save my life. But Katharine Hepburn, I think is, Hey Ma, what was the name of the woman that was like the transatlantic accent? The one you sent me. Yeah, but what was the chick?
Amazing content.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's fine. She can't think of it. Point is there's an actress that like pioneered that. But yeah. It's a fascinating accent. I love the subculture that's kind of arisen nowadays, as like grating as it can be to hear. like the e-boy voice.
I would not be able to pick it out of a police lineup, but go on.
I find it fascinating. I find like the super hyper way too deep voice that a lot of people do, like on Valorant.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's
like the corpse husband imitation.
I really want to sound like Corpse. Yeah, this kind of deep fucking.
Yeah, I am wigging the hell out right now.
That voice, all I can think about when I hear that voice is like somebody who just took a like ridiculous rip on a bong.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is a person who's like trying to suppress a cough. It's just I'm not. It's
well, because
the
thing I love about like the corpse voice is that it can so easily be turned into like the creepiest sounding tone, because like if you do it normally, right? Like if you do the
yo, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, I'll tell you a secret.
And then like you bring it down further, it goes into like,
yeah, how's it going? Yes, I need.
You know, it kind of it gets creepy.
Well, it's like it's a.
Where's Megan the Stallion? I need toast.
You know, kind of thing. And it's fascinating because I that's what I love about voices so much, is that you can weave them and bend them in so many different fucking ways. Hi, sweetie. She doesn't like that voice. That it's, I don't know, it's just fascinating. It's one of the things I like about it. But go on, my apologies.
No, you're good. No, it's well, I mean, this is like an element of like nonverbal communication, right? That's not just like we talked about body language earlier, which is nonverbal communication. There's a lot of nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is a very important subject in anthropology, and your choice of accents is a part of that. And yeah. This is pretty much my natural accent, right? This is pretty much more or less my natural accent. This very straightforward general American dialect, Midwestern white guy accent is pretty much what I got. But I can tend into sounding a little bit more country at times, and I do tend to hello Condemned. I do tend to use vocabulary that responds to the people I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. If people are using lots of 4 and 5 syllable letter words, I will kind of match them on that. If they're using more clipped language, I'll match them on that. And this is part and parcel of how we do nonverbal communication. And sometimes most of the time I'm not super conscious about it. Most of the time I'm just kind of mirroring. But, when I was a professor, I would lean a little bit more heavily into blunt language and into using longer turns of phrase that indicated to my audience my mastery of the relevant jargons as a manner of portraying expertise and assuming expertise in order to create a sense of reassuring atmosphere for my students, such that they might find my claims more credible than they would have otherwise if I was just kind of talking normally, like I normally do, right?
Yeah.
And part of the whole skill of being a teacher and a professor is knowing how to move between those and telling jokes. Like cheesy, corny, not particularly good jokes. Like, you're not trying to do a stand-up set here, but you need to occasionally be breaking the tension in order to, like, both keep people's attention and in order to not just turn it into, like, a total intimidation zone.
Oh yeah, well that's why I feel like most of the I feel like the most effective teachers that we have, where students actually grasp what they're being taught, are the ones that don't have a very and this kind of ties back into the psychology aspect of things a little bit. I feel like the most effective teachers that we can have are authoritative rather than authoritarian.
Yeah, where
it's you are speaking to your students like they are human, and it's not an I am above you thing, but you should still respect me for XYZ reason, but I am not above you kind of mentality. Which I feel like is I feel like it's important. I feel like it gets lost a lot, especially in the modern sense. But there are a select few that are really great with that.
Oh yeah, no, and that's
I totally get it.
Well,
that ties into the rest of the system as well.
Well, oh man, it's such a so part of where I think about this, right? Because I am a person who, because of my education and ethnicity and background, I tend to come across as very, very authoritative. And part of the reason why I push back a lot when people take me too seriously on my level of expertise and authoritativeness is that oftentimes people are not relying on the substance of my arguments, but on the mouth that is saying those arguments.
Yes.
And the reason why that bothers me in no small part is that that's how you get fucking scammed.
Yes, absolutely.
That's how you get scammed. Is that this is stuff that a scammer can imitate. This is stuff that a scammer can duplicate. And they can tell you that they can tell you with a straight face that, I am the person from the Social Security office who has your Social Security account and needs to talk to you. They can do that. Like these are things that they can imitate. They can put that into the same tone of voice and the same manner of speaking that I do to tell you about random shit I read about ancient Rome in the last 48 hours. So it's something that's you can lose it quite easily. It's a vulnerability in your mind, and it's worth being critical of. It's worth being very, very critical of that.
Oh yeah,
a white guy who dresses nicely and enunciates clearly isn't actually any smarter than anybody else.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that also goes into the self-thought with title as well. Like even I see a lot of teachers, unfortunately, get held up on the, I am the teacher, you are the student kind of mentality. And it really, I've seen it happen too many times where it hinders the education of the student because, it's that, kind of disrespect of the inherent two-way street that respect as a concept is. And I feel like a lot of people don't really acknowledge that too much as a danger to learning, where they focus too much on the title that each group has.
Yeah, credentialism is a real danger.
Yeah. I will say, by the way, because I do tend to like restate myself just to make sure I'm clear. So if I'm doing that, let me know. And
I'll... No. So far, no. Okay. So far, not that I've caught.
I appreciate it.
But if anything, I feel like you undersell your credentials and capabilities, because I have been very impressed with your competency, particularly in the realm of voice acting.
Thank you.
And streaming. And I'd been wondering, like, I know that you need to get going within the next like half hour, thereabouts. I've been wondering, like when did you start learning voice acting?
Oh God, I honestly started. In terms of like started, my main interest kind of grew and I think about like 2015, 2016. And I started practicing like different voices. I started actually really cringily. One of the things I started doing like to kind of get more comfortable with it was reading like, and this is not going to help at all with certain voices I can do. This is not going to help the fucking accusation at all. I started with like Reddit no sleeps and like scary like creepypasta stories and shit.
Okay.
And then and that kind of I would read that out to like people like in chat or anything like that. Like in like a group chat, like in the fucking voice channel or whatever the fuck at the time. And yeah, it would just go from there. And then I started doing, I had other like personal like IRL projects that I got invited to, and I was like, oh, this is nice. I want to do like more of this. This is fucking great. and so it kind of just snowballed. I think I honestly don't remember when I fully jumped in and was like, all right, fuck it, I'm doing voice acting as a thing. I just knew like, hey, I like doing voices and I can do certain voices really fucking well. Why not use it? It's, you know, my only complaint is that like I just need the voices that I can do like impression wise. I need the people that like I can impersonate to not be bad.
Oh, okay.
Like great example. I have one person, I have one voice that I cannot whip out in front of a lot of people because the voice that it sounds similar to, the person is not good. Like they were,
I will say it was unwise to invest your skill points into Benito Mussolini.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, you know, it's the Italian in me. Just I felt like I had to out of obligation, you know.
Yeah. It was just an easy entry point into voice acting, the Benito Mussolini voice.
No,
I absolutely would not be able to pick Benito Mussolini's voice out of. I would not be able to pick that one out. I
lineup.
I think I can pick Hitler's out of a lineup. I can definitely pick Churchill's out of a lineup. And Gandhi for that matter. There's a couple of historical figures. Obviously some of the Americans like JFK. JFK is easy.
JFK is super fun to do. I love doing JFK.
How much is it? How much is it clone high JFK, and how much is it historical JFK?
Mayor Quimby.
Mayor Quimby. Okay.
It's Mayor Quimby JFK.
Okay. Excellent.
You know, it's like the you know, we've got a lot of people here. You know, that kind of
yeah. I can see it.
I can see it. That woman, she stared at me. You know, that kind of.
yeah. Jeez. That is.
What's funny too is that's like a tone off of Bernie Sanders for me. That's a pitch up from Bernie Sanders for me.
Oh man. One of those things I like to tell people that freaks them out is that. So I live in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
And I will tell people periodically that. The youngest person that I have met that has like a genuine, authentic Brooklyn accent.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. No, I mean, because
it's dead. It's dead as an accent.
Yeah.
Like it's gone.
Yeah. Well, because it's been taken over by like the either the Bostonian or the Jersey kind of accent.
Well, I mean, the Jersey accent is very similar to the vast majority of the people I meet who are under the age of 70 have speak with general American dialect.
Yeah.
The few that don't, the most common one other than general American dialect are going to be like various Hispanic accents like Puerto Rican and AAVE.
Yeah.
Like the white boy Brooklyn accent's gone.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, honestly.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little bit.
An entire generation of people, you know, that kind of.
Yeah. It's a culture that's gone. It's a culture that's gone, and it's been flattened and homogenized into like American white guys have like we're limited to like almost everybody speaks with GAD or Texan.
Yeah, it's really fucking sad. It's really sad.
It's much more about cultural markers than about like where you're from, right? It's much more about that than. Yeah.
Not even that. It's you know how it's how you're taught as well, because I feel like great example. I had to, you know, my mother had to kind of break the way they wanted me to say certain words, because it was just unnatural. Like they wanted me to say like orange instead of orange. So, you know, it's something. Like I feel like that goes into like the institution as to where you went for school. Kind of affecting it. And I think to an extent, like vocal switching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Well, that's actually why that's kind of what I was going for. I was like, most of the people I've met who have like thick Texan accents aren't from Texas at all.
Yeah.
They're not, and they picked up the Texas accent as adults. Like they picked it up in like their 20s, 30s, and 40s. And they picked it up not because of like They picked it up because of how they vote. Like they chose a political stance and then they chose an accent to match their political stance.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I don't have like a Texan accent. The closest thing I have to a Southern accent, funnily enough, is solely off of pure interest in wanting to try and do Arthur Morgan. I can't do it, but
Arthur
like out
Morgan.
of sport, yeah.
Now
that kind of shit.
that one. Now I find it a little bit, how shall we say, mortifying to be testing out my accents around somebody as skillified as yourself. But this is my Southern accent. This is the best I can pull off. Is a bit
That's
of
the dignified Southern kind of.
Very much so.
Let me get my assistant Luther in here to help me discuss. Now, old Ben here's got bumps on his skull.
No, we do not need to bring our old man out in front of the guests. We are trying to be civilized here. We do not need to bring up that ghoulish artifact.
Now you lay your palms flat on that table.
And you can see that also there's an element of vocabulary choice, because I am doing like a Southern gentleman thing, and it's like I just cannot say like I have to say that ghoulish artifact. Right, it's like a whole mindset.
Because it goes into getting into character too.
Yeah. So it's the whole thing. It's a whole thing. The American Southern accent. By the way, Morp, you might kind of appreciate this because I drove Pekon Neko along with a couple other people nuts on this a couple weeks ago. So Pekon Neko is from South America, and so are a couple of my viewers. They did not know. They did not know until I pointed it out that USians find Hispanic accents really attractive.
Oh yeah, no, that's a big thing here. That's a big thing nowadays. Yeah, that's a big thing here. Like a lot of people fucking love it.
It's Glitchica is an ASMR streamer that I'm friends with, and like she has to like restrain herself from like going into her Mexican accent because her chat goes too feral over it.
Yeah. I it's sad too. I wish I could have like the fucking like Ezio Auditore like tone, like I could get the like that Italian tone, but it just his accent, the voice actor is so like it's so unique how he does it that cloning it is so fucking hard. It's so fucking hard.
So when you're studying an accent, you mostly like listen to people who have it and then just like imitate it back to yourself?
Oh yeah, like I'll use Inari as a fantastic example. Fucking, she uses a lot of like fucking kansai around me and shit. Yeah. Like when I'm being a pain in the ass, fucking telling me to shut up. So I listen to different sources. If it's a specific character, I will listen to the character for a long time and then like try and pitch shift my voice and get it like, worked around to fit that. If it's like a specific, like an actual accent, then I'll try and like listen to different people that actually have the accent or listen to people that speak it and shit like that. And then see how far into it I can go. And like try and mimic the tone and depth. And then when I feel brave, ask like, hey, how good does this sound? Which is why when she was like, oh yeah, no, that sounds great. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Because it meant like I'd cloned the tone to a good degree. So like, yeah, I listen to different sources and shit like that. Okay. It also, I feel like it helps having like different people from different areas as well. Because like when you have somebody that actually has like an accent, like a British accent, or like in Inari's case, like Japanese, you can. It's really nice because you have that like customized, vocal variants. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just the performative version; you have the normal chill version. If that makes any fucking sense.
It's Bug. We've had all of Entity on in chat at some point or another. Bug VT. Oh no, not the Guilty Gear. Not the fighting games. Not the fighting games brain rot, which I know is like her favorite type of brain rot.
Yeah,
But
it's like like different tones and everything. That's why it's like having people that have those kind of different accents helps, because then like you can hear what it sounds like in the context of them speaking like seriously, or when they're pissed off, or when they're sad, or fucking, you know, when they're just chill hanging with the boys. And you get that like ability to be like, okay, this is how it sounds at this point. This is how I should sound if I'm doing this.
okay, yeah. I'm like, the part of why this is hitting me a little bit is partially is like I don't have the best hearing, and there's some other elements to this, I suppose. But like when I was learning Chinese, I could not figure out the difference between ja and ja. Can you hear the difference?
Slightly, yeah.
Ja, ja. The way I couldn't figure out the difference until somebody.
There's more breath, I feel like, in the second one.
It's not an aspiration difference. It's alveolar versus dental. I couldn't figure out the difference until somebody told me what to do with my fucking tongue.
Oh shit.
So the J in Chinese is pronounced the way we pronounce J's, Jo. And then to ZH is a J sound, but you press the tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Ja.
Yeah.
The Zhou dynasty. Professor Zhang. Yeah. Like it's and so like I couldn't even really like quite hear the difference until I was doing it productively, but it required like a very academic way of doing it. It required like this very like behind the scenes look. I couldn't just get it by immersion and imitation. That's kind of why I was asking. I was like, so because you're just talking about like hearing. And that's like, oh wow, that seems so challenging to me.
It definitely is a pain in the ass sometimes. I can't do the like the repeat back and shit like that. Like if I want to pick up, like if I'm learning a language, right? Like if I'm learning a language, having like phrases that I can, I learn phrases a lot better than I learn like individual, if that makes any sense. So like figuring out like a sentence of like, oh, it's for like this or something like that, I can remember that way fucking easier until like I'm on the spot. Then I panic and I freeze. But like you know, when it comes to like picking up accents and shit, or like voices, getting like phrases I can say helps out a lot, because then I can kind of immerse myself in that and kind of like become try my best to become either the character or the voice that I'm doing. And then like it's also just experimenting as well, like with the Peter voice. Fucking that came out mainly from like having watched Family Guy for a long time. Then being like, okay, you know, I want to be able to slip into Peter whenever I want. And it's that weird like Rhode Island Bostonian kind of fucking tone. But,
yeah.
But it's something. But then like it came to where it's like, you know, when you get comfortable enough to recreate it. So it's like, you know, if I wanted to do Peter singing the fucking Chinese TikTok song, you know, the fucking "Whoa man chi chanchodi," you know, that kind of shit. I can. You know, or if I just want to do the, you know, I did not care for the Godfather, you know, that kind of thing. I can if I want to, but it's just from watching fucking Family Guy way too long. But it's weird. It's a pain in the ass sometimes, because sometimes you can't pick it up and it gets really, really frustrating. Like, it gets really, 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 really frustrating.
Is there a point at which you seek out somebody like for coaching?
Oh yeah, the transatlantic accent.
Okay, you did do that. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, because I had to ask my mom, like, hey, how the fuck do I do this? Because I refuse to lose and I hate losing. So it was a bet, and I refused to concede and admit defeat. So I was like, all right, how the fuck do I do this?
How the fuck do I do this? Yeah. Oh man.
Sorry, I like went on a tangent there for a minute. My apologies.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for this. I was hoping to learn from you because, as I said, I am, I find, I would like to get better at this. I would like to get better at doing these accents and at portraying and at being able to like do these things. Because people like my voice, so I should have some more range with it, right?
You have a fantastic fucking voice.
That's very kind of you to say. It's something of a comedy that I've comedy/tragedy to me that like I am not the most discerning about this kind of thing because my ears aren't very good, right? You know, the people have said that I probably people have been like, oh, like we should listen to you sing. I was like, dude, I'm tone deaf.
Yeah,
like
no,
like total guesswork on what I'm supposed to on the notes. Like they're going all over the place.
I'm a VA for a reason. I can't sing.
There's a it is total guesswork. It's absolutely random.
I think my like biggest like advice in that regard would be just like, and again, this works for me, so it may not be like fucking as like effective and everything like that, but like fucking I will say this and it'll make zero goddamn sense, but if you do it, it will like kind of make sense.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, so like if I asked you to rotate a cow in your mind, right? You can do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So imagine like air in your lungs as like a fucking pathway. Like, okay, do you ever see the head-on applied directly to the forehead commercials?
Yes, I did.
You know how they had the floating arrow that pointed at the head?
Yes.
Okay, imagine that, but like flowing through your chest and shit like that.
Okay, I've got it. I can see how to do it in Blender. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I envision shit whenever I do voices, is like wherever I want that to go, I kind of like move that to whatever tone in my head feels right, and then it works. So, but I mean that, but also like just immersing and like seeing how close you can get to it, and then listening back and being like, all right, so maybe this is a little too high or this is a little too deep or some shit like that. And then just moving from there. Like I'll do that. Like I have the Peter voice down, but like sometimes I'll do it and I'll be like, all right, this was a little too deep the last time I did it, or this was a little too high. But yeah, it's something.
No, I got stuck into the brain briefly of like, I am trying to learn Japanese, and I was like, I wonder how much I could just like ruin my own fucking life by insisting on like switching from my Tokyo accent to Kansai Ben. Just like switching like midway through my learning process, like going over to like the big wide open Kansai Ben from what I already know. That would dahendayo.
Yeah, I have Inari telling me to shut the hell up stuck in my head, like whenever I think about the Kansai thing, and she goes like "uruse," you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah, uruse.
Yeah.
No, I said that more of it. I see. Even then, I did that more in a Tokyo accent right there. I cut it right there and said "uruse." I did "uruse." You know,
I can't be loud. That's why I'm kind of like cutting myself off. But
yeah. Oh man. But yeah, no. I want to hear more from you about this at some point in the future. But I think you said that you've got another thing soon.
I do, yeah. I have,
so we should probably get you skedoodled so that you can have more cookies.
Indeed. I forgot that we have cookies again.
So folks, plug yourself. More professionals here.
Hi. Oh, thank you. I'm Entity Morp on Twitch, Entity Morp on Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube at Morp Flagella Bonfire. That is FLAGELLABONFIRE on YouTube. And I do mainly on YouTube funny voice clips and reacting to different shit, high tier content, as well as different voice acting stuff I find funny. And on Twitch, as of recent, I do a lot of truck streams, and then possibly incorporating GTA again when I fucking decide to do it, because I have the Corey Kenshin upload schedule. But, you know, hey, we work with it. But yeah, if you like my stuff, feel free to check me out. I appreciate it. Also, check out the other people part of Entity, Anari, and Bug from Vermont, Bug VT.
Yeah, Bug VT. I'm still amazed that Bug got the Bug, just Bug, as her name. And Inari Reiju, Reiju-chan.
Yeah.
The recently
I would
revealed
have,
to be 6'5" Inari.
yeah, I would have nowhere near the level of fucking like, I guess like go at itness with my streams if it weren't for her as well. She's fantastic.
She's fantastic. She's legitimately one of my favorite streamers.
Absolutely. She's one of my favorite people. Fucking best sister I could ask for.
Hell yeah. Shoutouts to Inari. Which I feel like that's a good note to raid out on. And because she's, do you have any reason why we shouldn't raid Inari?
Oh, I can't even think of one. Like
I'm there are some other people on who I like who are live, but like why not Inari?
Absolutely.
Why not Inari? We are going to raid over to Inari. This is because Bug's not live, so we're going over to the other member of Entity who is currently live. Inari is playing Final Fantasy 14. Let's hold on. Let's come up with so older man cat boys night, and that's the unsubbed raid message. If you are subbed, I had caps lock a second time. Boys night.
It's boys night, motherfuckers.
There we go. I'm sure she'll appreciate that one.
Yes.
So, we're going to, here's my Discord, which is the best place to find me. I'm not even going to bother with my socials because who cares? Social media is dead.
Yes.
Social media is dead and we have killed it. How will we live with ourselves? Oh, murderers of murderers.
Internet.
But yes. Everybody, have a lovely time. And I will see you. I will post schedule, but I think I might actually be streaming Sunday. So heads up on that one. And I will see you all later.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, Morp. It was a pleasure having you on. Now I get to claim that I've collected all 3 parts of the Triforce.
You have, which is giving you immeasurable amounts of power.
Yeah, Pekko, there's a collab that I'm trying to set up that may be on Sunday. I will announce on the channel if it's actually set up. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.